Hello everybody, welcome back to the Daily Cooking Show, the Daily Cooking Stream. I hope you're all having a beautiful Sunday morning or afternoon or evening, depending on when you're watching. It is currently 12 p.m. Eastern Time, and I am exhausted because normally I like to wake up nice and early at like 1:30 or so. And that's right, Munha, this is an iconic t-shirt. We're bringing back the Go Work Your Cringe 95 shirt for today. Welcome on in. Hello, Ask Yourself. Hello to Jack as well. Hello to everybody else in chat. Please come in and say hi. I'm pretty excited for today's stream. We're doing a very special early stream today because I have some plans later in the day. Going to be out of town for a little bit, for just a few days. And everybody, remember, we have a new schedule coming into effect. Also, welcome on in, Nello Atano. Hello, Dr. Slowbro. Nello, I'm sorry to hear that you're at work at the moment. But hopefully I'm able to be a nice little distraction for you in the meantime. Hello, dog, working your cringe 9 to 5 right now? Well, welcome on in, Alexis. Guess what? You always have a lovely spot here. So I'm glad that I can occupy a little bit of attention, a little bit of time for you at the moment. So, everybody, guess what? We're going to be doing a little bit of a special dinner today. Now, normally, this would be something that would be a little bit like extravagant, a little bit exorbitant. I don't make duck that often, despite duck being one of my favorite meats. We'll be doing today a little bit of a shredded duck taco, and I thought this would be a lovely thing to do. I feel like holiday time, Christmas time, people associate, at least historically, like with ducks and geese and pork and whatnot. And so I wanted to do a duck. I wanted to do something with duck. And what I really like doing is I love making tacos. I haven't had an excuse to make homemade tortillas in a while. This is the duck that we have for today. He is head on. We're going to be breaking him down. Guys, can I hold him up by the head? Is that okay? Are you okay with me holding him up by the head again? I'm going to hold him up by the head. You ready for this shit? You're not ready for this. Come on, buddy. Oh, he's a big boy. There we go. Still a little bit frozen over though. So we'll try our best to work and manage with all of that, I guess. That's right. Look at this guy, huh? Oh, he's a big boy. Okay. Wah! I almost dropped him. Almost dropped him all over the floor. Let's set him back onto the tray. He's a little heavy. He's a little bit bigger than the average chicken, right? So I'm not actually gonna mess around with him all that much. Guys, I am a little too clumsy in a kitchen. It's actually kind of a problem. It's kind of a problem. So we have that duck. We're going to break it down. We're going to only cook the legs today. The breast and other bones I'm going to set aside and freeze it for another use at a different time. I bought a whole duck. Honestly, pretty good price. I only paid like $25 for that bad boy. And then we'll also be making some homemade tortillas. I just grabbed the bag by the bag clip and it slipped off. We're going to be using, of course, a little bit of maseca to make some homemade tortillas, as always, right? I'm not working with any fresh masa. You have to use nixtamalized corn. This is nixtamalized corn flour, so it's going to be perfect for some tortillas. It's going to be nice and bouncy and delicious. And so you might be asking me, everybody might be asking me, what are we going to cook the duck in? What kind of flavors are we going to do for the duck? And let me tell you, we're actually going to do something exciting. We're going to be mixing some different flavors contextually that you don't typically see together. We will be doing some of these like Mexican chilies, right? So we have the guajillos and we have these ancho chilies. And we're actually also going to be including some Sichuan peppercorns. Sichuan. And so, for anybody that is unfamiliar, Sichuan peppercorns are really, really essential to, of course, Sichuan and a lot of different like Chinese regional cuisines and a whole lot of other cuisines. And they're not necessarily spicy, but they are numbing, right? They have like a very like special chemical reaction in the mouth that gives you that sort of like numbing feel. It's not necessarily spicy, but alongside the other chilies, it's gonna get really, really nice and spicy. And I just feel like contextually, like within duck, this is a flavor that I find like really, really pleasing from having eaten like a lot of like Peking ducks or like having eaten like 5 spice or something. I love Sichuan peppercorns. I love them. And I'm gonna be doing this with the Sichuan peppercorns, with the whole dried chilies, with cumin, and we're gonna have a bunch of cilantro. And then also on top of all of that, my friends, we're gonna be making a little bit of a grilled corn salad or a charred corn salad. We have some nice little avocados as well that I wanted to get rid of. These bad boys right here, they're nice and ripe already, and I'll talk to you about the ripeness of avocados and how to ensure that you have ripe ones. But yeah, some nice little avocados. So listen, We have a bunch of really delicious flavors that we're working with. We have some pretty good ingredients today. And I guess the biggest goal, the biggest intention is we don't want to really mess anything up today. So I guess I have one question and one question only. Is everybody ready? I want to hear a resounding yes, chef, from everybody in chat if you're ready. And if you're not, then we're going to have a problem and we're going to have a little something to talk about. So please, are you ready to go? Yes, chef? Perfect. Also, welcome on in, Frickle Frackles. Yes, chef. 2 yes, chefs. 3 yes, chefs. Beautiful. Okay, lovely. So I guess the thing that we need to begin with, we need to actually do the duck, because we're going to do the duck in the pressure cooker, and then we're going to do it under the broiler so that we get the duck skin like really nice and crispy. And we're only going to need the legs today. So let's start by taking this whole duck right here that actually is so big, it doesn't even properly fit into the camera frame. He doesn't really fit into the camera frame, so this might not be a particularly useful camera angle for today. So you know what? Let's move the whole thing over. We have to do a couple of things. First thing, we're going to try and get this duck to be a manageable size for us to work with. Because remember, this is one big massive duck. It's just going to flop all over my cutting board if I leave it as is. So the thing that we really need to do is we need to remove the neck. We need to remove the feet as well. Right? And you can see how cute it is. They have like nice little webbed feet. All right. Okay, so nice sharp knife. And remember, everybody, we're never going to be cutting through bone when we debone chickens and ducks. It's going to be kind of the same idea, except this is just a much bigger animal. So here's what we do. Here's the bone. Here's the joint. This is the foot. We don't want the foot. We just want the rest of the leg. We take it, and we're just going to snap it, like so. We're going to snap it. Okay? And then you see that the foot separates from the rest of the leg. So we just make a little incision. We see where the joint is. And then we're also going to cut away that tendon while we go down there. And that is one beautiful little duck foot. Ooh, so that's very, very exciting. So take a look. And also you can see they have some nice little webbed feet because we are working with ducks, that is. Okay, everybody, same idea here. Take it. You're just going to snap it back. Bit of a brutal noise that time around, actually. Okay. Same exact idea. We make an incision. And then we're just going to follow the knife a little bit down. We're going to pull out some of that tendon. And that's the other duck foot. Okay, and then we're going to trim these up later. And these I'm actually going to freeze for stock. Right? Because I would love to do like a really, really nice like roasted duck stock at another time. And we're going to also like separate the duck breast and everything. But now take a look, my friends. We have the carcass. We have the webbed feet. And we have the duck head. And now we have to start thinking about how we can continue to make this a little bit more sizable for us and a little bit easier for us to work with at the moment. Okay, and we don't really need a cutting board. Still, we're just trying to get this to be more manageable. So let's start with the wing tips. We're going to want to cook with the wings. You know, maybe I should just get rid of that cutting board altogether. Welcome on in, October's Brain. Welcome, welcome. I feel like I want to get rid of the wingtips. So these bad boys right here, because these are only going to be used for stock. Wingtips don't typically have any meat. It's just kind of all bone and collagen and tendons. So same exact idea, my friends. We're just making a little incision. We are snapping it, right? You see how it separates? And then we just go ahead and trim that off. And that way, we have the rest of the wing, which we'll be braising down and shredding today. Oop, I actually broke it, not at the joint, in a bit of a different place. That's okay, my friends, all you have to do, just trim it up, get in there, and get it done. Beautiful. Okay, and again, don't throw these away. We're going to be keeping all of these for the use of stock at a later date. And now, we have to find a way to neatly and easily get rid of this duck head. Okay, because he's just kind of hanging out. And I think the way to do that is, we're actually just gonna maybe like physically pick up the duck here. And we're going to start making an incision on the back of the neck right here. Okay, so let's perhaps change the camera angle that we're doing. Right, something like this. Okay, again, this is pretty big. We'll try our best though. We're going to make a nice little incision on the back. And I'm gonna see if I can just snap its neck off. This isn't gore, okay guys, this is cooking. This isn't, look, it's a little bit graphic. I should have included a bit of a warning for anybody that can't handle it. But this is just circle of life. Okay, actually, you know what? We're able to get it done just like this. Nice and easy. snap that neck off, take off the head, get it out of here. We have no use for it. Beautiful. That's the duck head. And again, my friends, we're never ever cutting through bone or anything. All that we're ever doing is we're just sort of following the natural lines. We're following the natural seams, okay? And we're going in between joints. We're going in between bones. So let's go ahead and look at the duck. This is so big. This is so big that it's just occupying the whole frame. And I'm going to just take a separate plate. I'm going to just put some stuff aside on it for now because I don't need to work with the duck head. I don't need to work with the wings at the moment, right? And then we're going to take some paper towels just to dry up the whole thing. It was a little bit frozen. I put it on a sheet tray, hopefully to de-thaw, but I think it should be okay for today. So, let's grab a plate. Also, I have no idea what you're saying in chat. I do usually prefer not to be like worried about it, just like an English only chat, just so I can know like what's going on and stuff. But welcome on in. I hope you're having a beautiful day today. Okay. So my friends, we're just going to go ahead and dry up this duck a little bit. We're going to try to get some of the ice crystals off the back of it and onto the sheet tray itself. Okay, and once again, all we did was we took out the wingtips, we took off the head, and we took out the neck, all in one fell swoop. Okay, we're just cleaning it up a little bit, making it easier for yourselves. And now we're about to start getting in there and start taking off the rest of the pieces of the duck. Cleaning it up, drying it, because it's a lot more unpleasant to work with like a wet piece of meat on your cutting board. Oh, sorry, because of tortillas in the title, I thought you were Mexican. I am not. I am not. I just love making Mexican food. So we'll be doing this today with pasilla chilies. Or guajillo, actually, I forgot. No, those are pasilla chilies that I have. And ancho chilies. And some sichuan peppercorns and cumin. It's going to be really nice. But yes, I love making tortillas at home. It's my favorite. Okay, so we've dried them off. It's going to be a little bit easier for us to work with now. Once again, everybody, we took off the head, we took off the neck, and now we have to get to the parts that we actually want for today. Okay, so all we want for today is going to be the wings. I'm going to show you how to take off the wings, and we're going to want these legs as well. And they're going to be really fatty, they're going to be really delicious, they're going to melt up really, really beautifully. Okay, so right now, I'm just going to plop my sheet tray over here, move the duck head, all these other bones aside for a second. And now, let's start breaking down this duck a little bit more properly. So, my friends, same exact idea with the chicken. The leg separates super, super easy from the rest of it. Here's what you need to do, okay? Here's what you need to do. This is the separation. This is the leg, and this is the breast. All we need to do is make a very gentle incision on the skin side. We need to see how far the leg itself actually extends up the duck, right? So just make an incision. Okay? And it has a huge, huge, thick layer of fat. Super thick layer of fat, my friends. We're going to flip it over on its backside, and we're going to pop out the joint. And now, again, because ducks tend to be a little bit tougher than chickens, it's actually not going to pop out as easily. So what you need to do is you need to take your knife and you need to go along the backside just to help trim up the skin a little bit if needed. And then eventually, we can just easily peel off all of the meat and all of the thigh, all in one fell swoop. And we're never cutting through bone for this process. We're only following the natural seams, following the natural direction of all of this meat. Okay, there we go. That's one duck leg. Also, we are going to braise this duck, so we're going to shred it. And duck only really gets tough if you overcook it, but no matter what meat that you actually braise, it always ends up being tender no matter what. So take a look. This is one nice little duck leg that we just took off. Hello, MGW. Welcome on in. It's been forever. How you doing, Ant? So, my friends, let's go ahead and do the other leg now, okay? I'm going to move my cutting board a little bit so you guys can see better. Again, this is a pretty huge duck. It's taking up the whole cutting board space. All we want to do, we want to make a nice little incision over here. There's a lot of fat, and all the fat is going to melt out in the process, and it's going to help make the shredded meat really, really juicy, okay? So we're just helping it out just a little bit, and we're popping out the joint, popping out the duck. Okay. Off it goes. And then we can just slice. Well, actually, we can just slice through the most part. There we go. And my friends, that's another duck leg. Beautiful. Grabbing a duck so you can follow along. Excellent. I'm happy to hear it. Okay, guess what? We have now successfully taken off 2 of the legs of the duck. And that's what we're going to actually be cooking down and shredding today. Ideally, I would have liked to work with some more duck legs. But the reason we're not going to be braising the breast is because that is typically meat that you want to eat like kind of medium well. It's not very good for like this very aggressive shredding. It's a meat that you really want to respect. But the legs, traditionally, you would like confit them. And you do all sorts of stuff with them. So the legs we're going to keep intact in the pressure cooker so it doesn't completely fall apart in the process. And we're able to easily pick it off the bone that way. Right? I don't want it to completely fall apart so difficult that we can't really like fish it out of the cooking liquid. Okay. So here's what we need to do. We need to also go ahead and grab, oh no. Oh guys, we might have an issue. I might run out of paper towels today. I'm gonna run out of paper towels also. Hello, Cherry. Welcome in. Okay. So just drying up this duck just to make it a little bit easier for us to work with. Let's flip it over, breast side down, and now we're gonna take the wings off. Okay, if I run out of paper towels, it'll be a bit of a disaster for today because I kind of rely on paper towels all the time. Okay. Oh, and there is now a hair in my eyes. Save me. I miss having Natalie on stream because she would just help adjust my hair as needed. Okay, everybody, really easy. Here's a wing. I'm holding a wing. It's breast side down. All we need to do is we need to make an incision along where the wing actually meets the breast. All we need to do is just make an incision here, and then it can pop out. Pops right out. And that way, we can easily separate the wing from the rest of the breast. And the bone here tends to be a lot thicker, because I would imagine that ducks actually fly. Beautiful. That's one wing. Let's go ahead and do the same exact thing to the other side, my friends. All we need to do, I'm trying to get a good angle for you all and get it to be nice and comfortable for me. Okay. Wing. Make an incision. Separate it all the way around. Come on, buddy. And then we want to pop it out. This is going to take a little bit of force. Pop it out. That's it. That's what I'm talking about. Once you popped it out, it just slides right on out. Although that cartilage is a little bit tough. Okay, there you go, my friends. That's it. That's all we needed to do for this. And then we have the breasts. And the matter of actually taking off the breasts, I'm actually not going to do this right now. I'm going to do this at a later date because we're a little bit short for time today. But the process would be really, really similar to what I do for the chickens. And we don't need the breasts. Okay? So, everybody, let's have a little recap. Look at the legs. Look at the wings that I just took off of this duck. All of this is going to go into the pressure cooker. We don't have to worry about searing it now. We're not going to worry about like browning it now or getting any color on it, because the idea is I want to pressure cook it, and then after it's pressure cooked and shredded up, I want to put it under the broiler for it to get like a little bit crispy and a little bit charred. Okay, but in the pressure cooker, the only goal at the moment is really for us to get it cooked in time. Okay, so that's already set, that's already done. We have the breast, we have the rest of the bones and stuff. I'm gonna take a second to throw everything on into the pot. So if we go to the stove really quickly, I already have my pressure cooker pot set up. And I'm doing a pressure cooker just because it's a little bit quicker, a little bit more convenient for me at this time. Okay, sweet. I'm gonna go ahead and grab that. I'm gonna throw that into the pot. And all those other bones, we're gonna be making a stock with it another time. I think maybe the next stream I'll do, it'll be fun for us to do like a roasted duck broth, right? Let's say we like really, really char, we really sear off like those duck bones and we make like this really delicious stock. And then we can make like a lovely soup out of it or something. And I think that would just be excellent. Okay, duck. Here's the legs. We're just gonna throw them into the pot directly as is. And again, we are going to, actually no, not quite yet. I wanna have the ducks sort of sit on top. I wanna have the duck legs sit on top, and like everything else that's going to go inside of the pressure cooker is going to sort of be below it. Okay, I don't want the ducks to be necessarily submerged for today. So we're not actually gonna do it like that. I am just going to go ahead and take my neck and my feet and put them aside over here. Perfect. And we're gonna take a second to clean up. Actually, I don't need this contaminated cutting board anymore. I'm gonna take a second to clean off my knife. So we need to make the rest of the stuff that's actually going to go into the braised duck. So we're going to have some chilies. We're going to have some garlic. We're going to toast some spices for it as well. I'm just going to take a second to wash my knife and put my dirty cutting board away. Right, because my knife just handled duck. I'm going to use this knife for some other stuff today. Just good to get this done now. It's good for him to just get this done now, and then I won't have to worry about it. Okay, sweet. Washed up my knife really quickly. Everybody following along, I want to hear a resounding universal yes, chef, from everybody watching. Please and thank you. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and throw my cutting board into the dishwasher. Out of sight, out of mind, don't have to worry about it. And I wish my duck was a little bit less frozen for today, but such is how it goes. I wish it was a little less frozen. It was a little difficult to work with. Because it was just like still like so wet and everything. Normally I like to like dry my meat out in the fridge for a couple of days beforehand. I did that yesterday, but what can we do? It came in frozen. That's the best that we got. Okay, so we have a couple things going on. We need to get the chilies semi-toasted, and I mean semi-toasted. What I like to do is I like to de-seed and I like to de-stem the chilies. And then you can either toast it over an open fire, you can toast it on a hot surface, or you can even toast it for about 15 seconds in a microwave, which is exactly what I'm going to do. So let's go back to the overhead camera. I'm gonna set my duck aside. Now let's talk about my chilies. So I have some of these pasillas and I have some of these anchos. The anchos are almost like chocolatey and the pasillas are like really, really complex and really fruity, okay? And I never work with chili powder at home. Never, never, never. Now, last time that we worked with chilies, we actually had one of them come with spiders. We had some very unwelcome guests. It was a bit of a mess, so we couldn't do chipotles. But today, these anchos are okay, these pasillas are okay. And we're also gonna have some sichuan peppercorns. So, I'm gonna show you guys exactly how to prep these. First step, we're gonna grab some gloves. Okay, because you don't really want to get the seeds in your eyes. You don't want to get like any of like the spice parts in your eyes. These aren't particularly spicy chilies as it is, but it's just good form to be gloved up for something like this. Okay, then we're gonna take a little bowl. We're gonna dump all the seeds out. We're basically gonna tear off the top of each chili. We're gonna dump the seeds out, and then we're gonna throw it into the microwave for about 15 seconds. And so in many ways, this is almost like a duck birria, right? We're not doing it with cheese, but it's still gonna have like these really, really aromatic, powerful flavor of all of these different chilies. So, how many are we gonna need? We're only doing in total, okay, 4 cuts of meat. We have 2 wings and 2 legs. So we really don't need all that much. We're gonna grab 2 of these pasilla chilies. Right, and you can already smell them. They're so raisiny. I feel like that's the best way to describe the smell of these. They're like almost raisiny, and then like once they get a little bit toasted, they become really, really chocolatey. They're very special. Okay? And then we're going to go ahead and grab 2 of these anchos. 1. Actually, that one's pretty big. I'm thinking we might only need 1. Yeah, let's only grab 1 of these bad boys. Okay, sweet. So here's what we gotta do. They smell wonderful. There's so much flavor, so much character in all of these different chilies. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take the top off. Just like this. And again, if it's a fresh chili, it shouldn't be too snappy. It should be fairly flexible still, right? If you have like a dry, stale chili, it's a lot more difficult to do this because they just sort of crunch. And you can see how leathery and movable and pliable this is. That's telling me that this is still a nice, fresh, dried chili. You don't want these to get too stale. If they get too stale, you may as well go ahead and buy some new ones. Okay. Dump out the seeds, open it up. We're gonna go in there with a thumb and just open up the pocket. And again, you don't have to be like super crazy when it comes to getting out all the seeds. You just wanna get out the majority of them, okay? they don't have a lot to add. They're just kind of bitter, and if it's like a spicy chili, they tend to be really spicy. Yeah, you should be throwing the old chilies away. These are very nice fresh ones still. And then this is the ancho chili. So once again, we're just gonna pop the top off. Well, you can also use some scissors for this if you'd like. You can use your thumbs, whatever is easier for you. There is no right or wrong way to do this, so as long as you're not really wasting the chili. Okay, that's the majority of it. I'm also gonna take this bottom off because the bottom tends to be a little weird. Okay, sweet. Guess what? 3 chilies. We have 2 pasilla and 1 ancho chili. And after it's all cooked, we're going to blend it up. It's going to be excellent. So here's what we do. We're going to arrange this very nicely on a plate. Just like so. And we're going to just basically toast this in the microwave for 20 seconds. Nothing crazy. The microwave has a really good time and place for certain things. For example, like reheating rice, or in this case, toasting chilies. I feel like it does a really good job of that. 20 seconds, that's all. Just throw it on in. Next, we gotta talk about our spices, my friends. Guess what? We have these beautiful sichuan peppercorns. We're gonna use some of these bad boys. I have some cumin seeds and I have some coriander seeds. We're going to toast all of these spices. We're going to half crush them up and we're going to throw it into the pot. So let's build the spice blend now. And you can already smell, by the way. That's it. That's all you need to do for the chilies. That is where like some of those really, really deep chocolatey flavors really start coming out. This smells, ooh, excuse me. These chilies, they already smell like super, super special. Okay? But you don't want to get too up and close and personal when you're getting a whiff of these. So these chilies, we're going to go ahead and throw into the pot. Throw them into the pot. And so the idea is, after all of this braises down, we're going to take those chilies, we're going to blend it in with the broth. Yes, it is. It's basically semi-fusion. I don't really love the word fusion. It is more like I'm just kind of inspired by Sichuan peppercorns right now. That's the only element here that I would consider fusion, aside from just like using duck altogether. But okay, let's go. So you don't really need exact measurements for something like this. We're just going to go ahead and grab a little pinch of these Sichuan peppercorns. And again, this is what gives you like a really delicious, like numbing effect, okay? They're not spicy, but they're numbing. It's a very unique chemical reaction. Next, we're going to do some coriander seeds. Not that many. We're also gonna have like a little splash of soy sauce in the braising liquid itself, just to give a little bit more meatiness. Everybody following so far? Okay, then we're gonna need some cumin seeds. I love cumin. You can't have too much cumin. About that much. And a few black peppercorns. A few black peppercorns. Okay? Not too many. You don't want it to become overpowering. Just a few. The black peppercorns can easily become like the most prominent flavor in this, and I just want to be able to taste the cumin. I want to be able to taste the rest of the spices. So let's head to the stove properly this time. And now, my friends, toasting spices is a really, really simple affair. All that you really need to do is you just want to throw it over the heat and you want to keep it constantly moving. And you know it's done toasting when you start seeing some very slight wisps of smoke. I'm going to get my mortar and pestle ready. But in general, you want to keep this moving all the time. You just want to keep it moving, keep it moving. Also, Bent Knee, thank you so much for the sub. Hope you're having a beautiful holiday. Hope you're having a beautiful day today. I should really see if I have any more paper towels somewhere else. And if anybody would like, it's the holidays. If you want to get me a gift, I have my throne link in the description. You don't have to though. Okay. Just toasting up the spices. Want to get it nice and aromatic. We don't want just like raw spices to go into everything else. Okay. Now, I feel like what would be some like really nice additions to the whole thing, if you had some cinnamon sticks, if you had some star anise. Oh shit, you know what? Let's do some fennel seeds. That's what I just thought of. I remember that I have fennel seeds available to me. Where is it? Where are my fennel seeds? Aha! some fennel seeds. Get like a little bit of that nice like licorice-y taste out of them. Not too many, but just a few. I love fennel seeds with duck typically. Okay, I'm gonna turn on the stove and it might cut out my camera again. It tends to do that, so we're actually not even gonna show you that. Hello? There you go. My stove wasn't lighting for a second. Head back to the stove. Yeah, so we want to toast up the fennel seeds, we want to toast up the cumin, we want to toast up the black peppercorns, and that's going to constitute the spice base for today. It's going to be really, really delicious. Let's keep it constantly moving, right? You have to think about this. We have a bunch of these like circular round objects on a flat surface. You have to be constantly moving it so they get toasted all over. Otherwise, you're just going to have like a very teeny tiny part of it that is burnt and the rest of it is completely untoasted. It's a very similar idea of when you're trying to toast some nuts. Right? Let's say you're like toasting or frying nuts over a hot pan. You have to keep it constantly moving. Now, this wouldn't necessarily be an issue. Okay, we're looking for just some slight smoke. This wouldn't be an issue if you were to fry these in oil, because the oil would be able to really evenly conduct the heat and get into the crevices of the spices. But now, my friends, we got those slight wisps of smoke. Let's head back to the stove. Or to this. And is it better to crush the peppercorns? So this is a good question. Bettany, you've asked me, is it better to crush the peppercorns before toasting? And the answer is, it probably doesn't matter too much. The only thing is, by the time that you're transferring the crushed peppercorns here and there, you're gonna have some residual left over, you're gonna have some residual left over in the pan. I don't think it matters too much. It just burns a little bit easier, and I guess the structure and the physical size of these are gonna be very different. They're gonna be really, really different and very, very varied. Right, so you're gonna have some big pieces, you're gonna have some small pieces. It might be very difficult for you to get an even toast that way. So you can get a very nice even toast when they're all the same size, and then you crush it down into that like sort of irregular mashed up size. So I hope that helps. I don't know if that answers your question. The answer is it probably doesn't matter too much, but it's nice because you're keeping the form of all of it really regular. Also, the Death Owl asks me, can we blend it, can we pulse it, in the food processor if we don't have a mortar and pestle? That's also a really good question. And the answer is I would not recommend to do this in a food processor. First of all, a food processor is way too big, so the blades aren't really going to catch onto the spices too well. If you want to use a machine, use a coffee grinder. Coffee grinders, people use them as spice grinders. You will destroy a nice food processor, especially the plastic around the sides, by trying to grind spices in it. I would only do this in a spice grinder or in a coffee grinder that you've dedicated for spices, just like a cheap, shitty Kroger, $20 spice grinder, coffee grinder. That's what you can use. Otherwise, mortar and pestle, or you can just use two heavy things to like crush it down, like a pan and another pan. Okay, toasted cumin, toasted sichuan peppercorns, toasted fennel seeds, and toasted coriander seeds. My friends, it smells phenomenal. We got some really good flavor going here. Okay. And now we don't really want to crush this into a powder or anything. We just want to kind of keep it half crushed. We're not going to do like the rotation thing. And the reason for that is because I want to be able to easily strain this out later. What I want to do is I want to be able to blend everything up and then strain it out. And then if we have these in way too small of pieces, it's sort of going to just give the whole like sauce a bit of a grittiness. We want it to impart its flavor. We don't want it to dissolve. Right, so I'm keeping it intentionally whole. Okay. Really crush them up. Make sure you've gotten rid of any of like the big spheres, any of the big orbs of coriander, any of the big orbs of cumin, of the Sichuan peppercorns. Get in there, get it done. Taking a break from cooking to watch cooking. Well, welcome on in, Wonder Woolly. Hope you're having a beautiful day today. Okay. How's this going? This looks good. Basically there. Okay, yeah, we're gonna intentionally keep it fairly intact, okay? Just so that we can really, really easily take it out later. Let's head back to the pot. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and switch this out. And again, if you keep this thing dry, you don't really have to wash it or clean it off or anything. So once again, in this pot, we have the chilies. We have now all of these peppercorns, the fennel seeds, the cumin. We're also going to do some dried oregano because I feel like that is a very like common contextual taste in like braises for Mexican cooking. So we're going to do some oregano, Mexican oregano if you have it, but regular plain oregano will do just fine. Once again, I have seemed to lost my oregano. There it is. Oregano going in, my friends. Not a crazy amount. You don't want it to become overpowering. And then the next thing we're going to do some bay leaves. Also, happy holidays, Tarzan. Happy holidays to Possum as well. So, my friends, we're just throwing into the pressure cooker pot now some bay leaves. Okay. These bad boys going in now. So we're gonna get this like super, super aromatic, delicious braise. Everybody, I want you to really think. I want you to take a second to think about everything that we have inside. We have the toasted Sichuan peppercorns. We have the toasted chilies, the Reta Pasilla chilies, and the ancho chilies. We have coriander seeds. We have Sichuan peppercorns. We have black pepper, fennel seeds, and cumin. And we've just added bay leaves. And now we're gonna do some of the fresher vegetables, some of the fresher aromatics. So let's get all of that set up now. Oh God, I think I'm gonna run out of paper towels this stream. That was my last one. Well, we'll see how it goes. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do some garlic cloves. We don't need to do anything too crazy. We're just going to basically cut it in half. I'm throwing down a wet paper towel so that we can really, really easily hold the cutting board to the surface without it slipping around too much. I have half of this red onion that I'm going to use. This like old, odd red onion. And I'm keeping it intentionally intact so we can just sort of pick it out after. Okay? You can keep most of the root on, just get rid of the skin. Get rid of any papery bits and throw it into your pot. Excellent. Do I still commentate? I sure do. Okay, red onions. Just throw that into the pot. And next, we're gonna need some garlic cloves. You don't have to go too crazy with the garlic, but just a few cloves just to get us going. And so, by the way, I'm looking for, in this dish, a lot of flavors that would be sort of similar between, I guess, like Mexican cooking and like Chinese cooking. And so that's why I'm like really, really excited about this dish, right? Because you're getting some flavors and spices that you don't normally get together. You're getting like the Sichuan peppercorns, you're getting the oregano together, the bay leaves, the garlic. It's gonna be super, super flavorful, this cooking liquid that we're making for the duck. Okay, just getting rid of the skin on the garlic once we've smashed it. Oh, I should have smashed it a little bit more, rather. Okay. I should have crushed that. I did not. And we're gonna keep it whole so we can easily pick it out later. It's all gonna be strained and blended anyhow, right? So don't worry about mincing these. You don't have to put these through a garlic press today or anything. You don't have to do anything crazy. Okay. Garlic cloves, done. Also gonna throw these into the pot. And now, I do think that actually just about does it for the aromatics for this. So, let's head to the stove one more time. In the pressure cooker pot at the moment, we have all of the spices, we have the chilies, we have the onion. We're going to do a splash of dark soy sauce. Just a splash. I don't want it to taste profoundly of soy. I just want the whole thing to have a little bit of extra saltiness, to have a little bit of extra oomph. Okay? A little bit of dark soy sauce. And now, we're gonna pour in some water. Is my kettle full? My kettle is full. So, we don't really need to submerge this duck or anything. We just want enough that we can build up pressure in the pressure cooker. And so there's usually like a minimum fill line that you need to hit to do pressure cooking. So we're gonna do a little bit more water. In total, 1.5 to 2 quarts of water will be just fine. Excellent. Really, really delicious. Okay. And now, let's throw in the duck. So we have the duck legs. We're just gonna pop those in, we're gonna put them on top. We don't really need them submerged. The duck wings, and the other duck leg. Just like that. And if it submerges, it submerges. It's no big deal. And again, you don't really have to worry about the salting or anything at this stage. We'll be able to get that done later. Also, hello goes. Hope you're having a beautiful day today. We're going to still kind of reduce and blend down the cooking liquid. We don't know how much salt we've added through the soy sauce, but I'll do a little bit more just to make myself feel better. A little bit of salt. And you can also do a pinch of sugar here if you would like. You can do a pinch of sugar. Okay. That's all done. And now, my friends, all we have to do, we're going to set it to high pressure. Hello, Dusky. Happy holidays. Hope you're having a beautiful day today. So, my friends, we're just going to take the pressure cooker. We're going to throw it on. That's not going to be happening on camera. That's all going to be happening off camera. It already smells pretty wonderful. And we're going to do high pressure for 40 minutes. And it is pretty essential in this case for you not to go overboard. You don't want the meat to be completely falling apart because otherwise it's going to be very difficult for us to actually take it out of the broth. We want to be able to have it be tender enough that it shreds up nicely, but not so tender that just by lifting the bone it's all over the pot. Okay, I'm going to take a second to put a few things away that we no longer need, especially the chilies. So everybody, let's do a little recap really quickly as well. All that we did was we set the duck to pressure cook. We toasted some spices. We made the aromatic base for it. And now we have to make the dough for the tortillas. And while the tortilla dough rests and hydrates, we'll work on the salad. So that's all we have to do today. Make the salad, make the tortilla dough. It's going to be really, really simple. Just taking a second to clean up. Everybody having a good holiday so far? Hope you are. You better be. And also, I'd love to hear, does anybody have anything exciting planned for their holiday dinners? I'm trying to bag up these chilies again. I have like these things to close up plastic bags. A little bit challenging. Oh, you made your own chicken broth the other day for chicken pot pie. Very exciting. Yeah, that just really elevates any chicken pot pie, right? Using boxed chicken stock, I mean, it is, not only is it flavorless, it also is kind of unpleasant in flavor. I hate boxed chicken stock with like a passion. And then if you make your own chicken broth, you can thicken it up and you can reduce it as much as you want. And you can make it as chickeny as you like. It's great. It's amazing. Okay. That's all done. What else am I missing here? That's about it. That's about all the stuff I had to put away, minus the spices. I'll take a second to do that. Okay, sweet. My spices have also now officially been put away. We will not need them anymore. They've done their job in this dish. They're going to be delicious. Okay. Why did the duck cross the road? I'm not sure, Mario Murphy. Tell me why. Having a crunch wrap for lunch today? Ooh, fucking love crunch wraps. Good morning. Hope you're having a good day today. Okay, everybody. You know what time it is? Oh, it's a chicken's day off. That was pretty good. We're going to be making some homemade tortillas today. It's been a little bit of a while, but it's really simple. Here's what you need for tortillas. You need only 2 ingredients, just 2. Okay? You're going to need a little bit of nixtamalized corn. You can either use fresh masa or not, and you're gonna need some hot water. Also, Bethany, I'm gonna answer your question in just a second. I'm gonna answer your question in just a second. That's a good question though. So I'm just putting some water in a kettle and I'm gonna heat it up. We want some nice hot water. So, Bethany asks me, what do you do to render the duck fat properly? I always struggle to balance that and the meat. So here's my answer for you. Here's my answer. It's a little bit complicated and it depends on what cut of duck we're actually talking about. You're probably talking about a pan-seared duck. And duck, of course, has like a really, really thick layer of fat as it is waterfowl. between the skin and the meat itself. And so what people typically do is they score it. They score the duck meat, and they do that mostly so it doesn't buckle too much. What I would do is I would get a press, like a little bacon press. Get yourself a little press, get yourself a little meat press, a little bacon press to make sure the skin is in even contact with the pan the whole time. What happens is the duck meat, even if you score it, it goes from this to this. It immediately buckles. And once it buckles, it is not in contact with the pan and it's not able to render. And I do mine, low heat on a pan, and I just get it go super, super slow. Now here's the thing. No matter what, after you rest it, even if you did like the cold pan, you put the skin side down, you got the skin crispy, even after you rest it, the skin tends to be kind of chewy. It doesn't tend to be crispy like glass. And honestly, my answer for you then is you gotta cook the skin and the breast separately. This is something that not a lot of people do, but because of the fact that innately to get like really crispy duck skin, the skin and the fat, the skin and the meat, they take different amounts of time to be able to get to the ideal point, right? So you could like start it off that way, then you could peel off the skin and then deep fry it or something if you really want like super crispy skin. I find that I actually kind of like the slightly chewy duck skin. It's complicated, it's not that easy. In the case of duck legs, you have to first render it slowly, you have to first cook it slowly. Let's say you either confit it or that you braise it or something, right? And then you can get the duck skin super, super crispy. The duck fat will naturally render when it cooks for that long. I promise you all the fat will render out. Okay, let's work on the tortillas. Super simple, everybody. This is really, really easy. Anybody can do this, and you should be making your own tortillas at home. You need a bowl. That's your first start. You're gonna need a spoon before we move on to our hands. And we're going to need an approximate cup of the maseca. So this guy right here, okay? Nixtamalized corn. You can't just use any corn flour. Please don't use cornstarch. I've seen somebody use cornstarch to make tortillas before. It's a disaster. So let's talk about the ratios for this. You have to go by feel. You can always adjust, you can always add more masa, you can always add some more water, but typically what's worked for me is basically a 1-to-1 ratio of masa to water, or maseca to water. Right, so we're doing like this, whatever cup this isn't a measuring cup or anything, it's nothing crazy. Okay, we're just doing one of those because I don't need to make too many tortillas today or anything. I only need to make a small amount. And then I have this hot water currently sitting in this kettle. And in total, we're only gonna need about this much water. And listen, if it gets too wet or too sticky, I'm gonna show you how to identify that and how to avoid that from happening. So, you wanna start with a wooden spoon before we go to the hands because this is hot water. If anybody has made dumplings, it's very similar to the initial process. We're just getting it mixed in. It looks super dry, but I promise you it's gonna fully hydrate. And we're making a very small batch of tortillas today. So everybody, remember, this isn't a wheat flour. This doesn't have any gluten in it whatsoever. No, that is not cornstarch. That is maseca. That is nixtamalized corn. That is not cornstarch. We're making tortillas out of nixtamalized corn, not cornstarch. Absolutely not. Okay. We're just trying to get it together. We're trying to get the water to cool down a little bit. And then we're going to smush this all together. So, you can't over-mix this. You absolutely cannot over-mix this. The only thing that you can do is end up drying it out. This doesn't have any gluten in it. You're not going to be stretching. You're not going to be folding any gluten strands. This is just starch and water is the way to think about this. Okay? So just start breaking up some of these clumps. Okay, and now we can probably glove up. Super easy. And it's gonna be a little hot, right? If you still can't handle it, use, another spoon until it's cool enough to handle. But by this point, it should be okay, right? Because your maseca is like room temperature. It's gonna cool down that water. Okay. Now we just bring it together. You're just gonna smash it. You're going to break up any dry clumps. You're gonna get them out of their clicks, and you're gonna force them into a new, nicely hydrated environment. Okay? Just get it in there, and you're gonna scrape up the sides. You don't wanna really scrape up the sides once the dough gets like really developed, because that way you're gonna get like really, really dry pockets amongst nicely made tortilla dough. Okay, really easy. Guys, there's no way to do this wrong aside from under mixing it. You don't have to knead this, you don't have to do anything crazy. We're just trying to make all of the maseca hydrate and absorb the hot water that we've put in. That's all that there is, 2 ingredients. Nixtamalized corn flour, aka maseca, and hot water. Ugh. Press it down, and you can already see, my friends, you can already see how much it all comes together. And before you add any more water to flour, just make sure you continue mixing it, because you might have little teeny tiny pockets of moisture that haven't been evenly distributed. But it's genuinely this easy to make dough for your tortillas if you're using the already powdered maseca. It's just this easy. Punch it down, just so that we're once again like breaking up any dry lumps that might have developed. Pick it back up. And I can already tell you right now that this dough is going to be too dry, but I'm going to show you how to test for that. We're going to take a lump of dough. I stole this from Internet Shaquille. We're going to press it down, and you see how much these edges crack. You see how much it cracks? That is telling us the dough is too dry. We want nice smooth edges all the way around. So let's flatten out this dough. We're gonna add another splash of water. 1, 2. And if we ever add too much, you can always add a little bit more maseca to compensate. Okay? Give it a second, because that is once again still, in many ways, boiling water. Okay? Punch it down, and it's all gonna come back together in just a second. It just takes a little bit of time, my friends, a little bit of elbow grease. Everybody following along so far? And if anybody ever has any questions, please ask me. I'm here to help you. So, Possum asks, does it get sticky like a bread dough if it's too wet? Yeah, it's going to leave a residue on your hands when we flatten it, if it's too wet and too hydrated. But I promise you, with enough mixing, you'll see the dough, right? All of this maseca has really started to absorb all of it. Ugh. Guys, I am tired. You know when's the last time I woke up at 10:30? Too long. 10:30 a.m. I'm used to waking up at 12. Oh, the tragedy of my existence. It's getting a little hot in here. I'm going to turn off the heater. My house is a little too toasty at the moment for me to cook in. And guess what? The pressure has already been built, and now it just needs to go for 40 minutes of high pressure. Nice and easy. Okay. And now, my friends, take a look. Look how much the water has been absorbed into the dough. Let's go ahead and take a little ball. Let's roll it up. And let's flatten it. And you can already see these edges are a lot smoother. Still cracking a little bit when it gets super, super thin. But it is going to get further moistened the longer it sits. Right? Because the flour is going to continue to hydrate the rest of the dough. But let's make sure we're punching it down. We're just going through it. We're going to get a nice even product. I have a feeling we can do one more splash of water. Let's do one more. Yeah, that comes off a little bit too cleanly. Let's do one more splash of water. And then I'm going to call it. Again, this takes a lot more water than people give it credit for. Okay? Never follow a ratio where somebody says 2 cups of water to 1.5 cups of, flour. Don't follow ratios. It's approximately equal each, and then you're going to have to adjust. That's all. You're going to have to adjust until you get your desired consistency. That's all you got to do. This is about feel, right? This isn't too scientific. There's no very specific leavening ratios. Okay. punching it down, getting all the liquid absorbed, and we're almost done, my friends. We don't need any more water, I promise. And normally, by the way, I don't like to work with doughs at home. I don't love rolling out dough. I don't love doing that whole mess with the flour and dusting a surface, and then you get something that's not that great. I don't like doing doughs at home. Tortillas are so easy, it's barely like you're working with dough at all. And there's something that is so much better than the shitty store-bought corn tortillas. Guys, do me a favor. Go buy a pack of corn tortillas and look at the ingredients. Look at the ingredient list. It's absolutely absurd. Something that should be 2 ingredients, corn and water, it's a whole laundry list of things just to keep it texture preserved. It's a disaster. It's actually a disaster. It is ridiculous how much corn tortillas especially get adulterated with a bunch of nonsense that they do not need. Okay. My friends, guess what? Look at this ball of dough now. Press it out. Beautiful. Comes out smooth. Doesn't leave a residue on my hands. That's the kind of hydration we needed. That was basically 1-to-1 volumetrically, if not more water than Maseka. Look at that. Let's roll it up, and we're gonna put some plastic wrap on it. And the plastic wrap is just to keep it from drying out. And now, this has to sit for around 30 minutes or so. Okay? 30 minutes, the dough is going to fully hydrate. And it's going to get it to a point where we can then make the tortillas themselves. So, it's really just that easy of a process. You mix things together, you let it rest for 30 minutes, and then you make the tortillas, and I'll show you exactly how to make it. It's that easy, and you get a product that is so much better than any store-bought tortilla. And you don't really have to do this if you have like a tortilla factory near you. A lot of people, especially if they live in like a Latin neighborhood, right, they'll be able to have like nice, easy access to that. I don't. I tried looking all over for a tortilla factory near me. Wasn't successful. Wasn't successful. Okay. I got very dehydrated. Wow. Okay. Just taking a second to clean off my station, putting away all the things that I do not need anymore. Hi, hello. So, everybody, guess what? We've already done a couple of things. As a little bit of a recap, we set the duck onto pressure cook. Right, just the legs and the wings. We broke down a whole duck. We toasted the spices for it. We made the aromatic base of the onion, a little bit of soy sauce, all those spices, really, really delicious stuff. Smells really wonderful. We made the tortilla dough, which now has to rest for around 30 minutes or so, just to make sure that the flour is evenly hydrated. And now the next step is we're going to be building our salad for today. We're gonna be building a salad. It's gonna be really nice. Where's all of my metal mixing bowls? Oh, it's holding the cabbage salad. I see. Okay. So, let's talk about our salad. We're gonna be doing a pretty exciting one. We're gonna be doing a charred corn and a avocado salad, because I think it'd be really delicious, it'd be really tasty. We're going to char the corn under the broiler. We're going to basically blacken the outside of it. It's gonna look very like striking visually and also be really, really tasty. So let's work on that now. So let's head to my cutting board again. I have this little package of corn. And again, I know it's the off season. It's way too expensive for what it is. These 3 cobs of corn, do you know how much they cost? Cost $3. Each of these were $1, basically. Such as New York in the winter, I guess. But I wanted like that nice charred corn, you know, that nice like blackened corn. Oh, it's so good. Okay, here's what we gotta do. We need a sheet tray. We need a sheet tray, and we're gonna line it with foil. We're gonna line a sheet tray with foil, and we're going to char the outside of it. Okay, or the corn that is. It's gonna make it a little bit smoky. It's going to cook it, but we're not going to cook it to death, right? I want my corn to still have like a really good bite to it, and to keep like a lot of like the sweetness inside of it. Line it with foil. And this is like one of those salads. They hold exceptionally well in your fridge, right? Corn, avocados, They hold them there for a few days at least. It's really nice to do. Okay, here's all we gotta do. We gotta open these up. There's no right or wrong way to do this other than you just peel it. You try to peel it as close to the cob itself so they can get rid of all those little threads. And then you're basically just gonna end up rubbing it down. Just like that. A lot of it pops out, and we want to get rid of the rest of these. But after the charring, a lot of them do end up coming out as well. We just don't want to intentionally leave any on. These tend to be quite pesky. If you have a tool to remove these, you can use that. Otherwise, $1 each, that's so cheap. But it's corn. Corn is the crop of the United States, isn't it? During the summertime, it's a lot cheaper. Right? Oh, I can't believe I spent $1 each on this. Ridiculous. Okay. We're just getting rid of all the little fibers. Rub it around. Do what you got to do. If there is some left over, it's not a big deal. Again, we're going to char it. The fibers, they tend to burn. They tend to burn off. I see. I understand. Okay, I'm also going to set the broiler on now. We want to get the top of the oven nice and hot. To the next one. Open this bad boy up. Okay. Nice and easy. There's no science to this. There's some people that are like, oh, it's the best to peel it from the stem. I don't care. It just takes a second. Rub it around. Take your time. Be patient. Get rid of all the little fibers. And also peel this part off. There we go. One more corn to shuck. One more left. Excellent. My waste bowl is getting a little bit full, so I'm just going to go ahead and dump this out and begin the next one. Also, everybody, apologize if I'm a little low energy today. I did not get enough sleep last night. I have a lot of things to do today. So I'm just like, I'm a little bit blech, and I don't like being a little bit blech on stream. I like to come in with my full energy, and I don't think I'll be doing a lot of noon streams in the future, but that's okay. Okay, we peeled up all the corn. It's been done. I'm gonna also clean up my workstation. Right, this is what the bench scraper is really nice for. And now, all we gotta do is we're gonna put a little bit of oil on the corn itself. You can use whatever oil you would like. I'm gonna do olive oil just because it tastes the best. And the oil is very functional here. It's going to help make sure that the corn is actually getting nicely charred under the broiler. Otherwise, it's gonna be very difficult for it to pick up any color, and it's just gonna end up drying out in the process. The oil is gonna do a very nice job of like evenly conducting that heat. Okay? I just wanna make sure it is on the surface of all of this corn. So we're just rubbing it all over. And it's also gonna help the salt stick to it. We're gonna season this with a little bit of salt. It's gonna be awesome. Okay? And that's that. So just rub it all over. Make sure that the outside of the corn is coated in the oil. You don't need a crazy amount of anything. And now that it's been nicely oiled, we can salt it, and the salt is going to stick and adhere to the oil. Okay? Right, so if we just take these, you can even just scatter them around, all the salt around, and then just roll it up. And the corn is going to take up as much as it can physically take. Roll it around, nice and easy. Not a lot of science to it, guys. We're just rolling around the corn. Okay, and now we're gonna go ahead and take these, stack them like this so they don't roll around too much, right? Because if you move them, these will kind of keep it together, keep it intact. We're gonna throw this into the broiler, my friends. We're gonna get the outside of this nice and charred. So really, really hot heating element from the top. I also realized I left my carbon steel pan inside of the oven, and we're gonna need these for the tortillas today. And so, everybody, there's no real science to this. You're just trying to get the top of it charred, and we're gonna rotate it as needed. We wanna get the whole thing fully charred as much as possible. Okay, sweet. So, little recap, let's take a second. I'm gonna drink some more water. we've begun the process of cooking the duck. About 29 minutes left on it. We're going to blend down the cooking liquid. That's going to be sort of the dipping sauce for it. We're going to make the tortillas. We already made the tortilla dough. And now we're making a little charred corn salad, right? So we have some avocados for it, we have some cilantro, we have some red onions. It's going to be a really, really delicious salad. Really simple. Also, Matung asks me, how do you know, or how do you learn so much about this? The answer is, food has been my obsession of many, many years. Also, I'm not able to get it to show up. There we go. Food has been my obsession of many years, right? So I've consumed a lot of content, I've critiqued a lot of content. I never received like any particularly formal training or anything aside from like a brief apprenticeship. I'm just self-taught. I've been doing this for a very long time. And I've debunked a lot of things that are relevant and not relevant in the kitchen. That's all. So we have to kind of babysit the corn. We have to babysit the corn. It has a lot of sugar in it, meaning it is going to be prone to charring quite easily once we dissipate some of the moisture. And it is under the broiler, so things can always catch on fire. Make sure that you're not walking away from the kitchen when you have something under the broiler element. Okay, let's work on the rest of the salad components in the meantime and think about the vessel that it's all going to go into. I've run out of bowls. That is one problem. I'm starting to run out of my metal bowls. So I gotta look around for one that I can steal. Oh, am I gonna have to use a glass mixing bowl? This is the worst. I hate this. Ugh. Hate using my glass mixing bowls. I like my metal ones. The metal ones are so lightweight, and I don't have to worry about chipping them or anything, but that's okay. Thank you for stopping by, Zoom. Really appreciate you. Okay. Glass bowl. We're gonna do the onion. We have one big old red onion that we're gonna throw in there. We're gonna chop up some cilantro as well. It's gonna be a really delicious salad. Let's use probably my big corner knife for this. Actually, that's way too much red onion. We're only using half an onion. Slice off the head, flip it down. I'm sorry to hear that. I regret nothing. I guess you do regret one thing, and that's your glass bowl splitting. Okay. I'm gonna take this onion, I'm gonna put in the fridge. We only need half a red onion for this. We don't want it to become overpoweringly oniony. It can become way too pungent. Okay. We're gonna take it, we're gonna peel the skin off. And then, now that we've peeled the skin off, let's go ahead and take a little peek at the corn and we'll see how that's going. Head to the stove, my friends. I don't know why, but this camera feels so dark today. Did one of my lights in the kitchen go out? That's okay. We'll bleep on it. So, my friends, take a look. We didn't develop any of the color yet so far. Okay, it's still basically totally golden because we have to work against the moisture that is present in the corn. Right? Only some bits of it have begun to char. We can just toss it in there, get it in there deep. We want to get a very, very nice charred corn on the outside. Okay, legit tips to cut onion without emotional damage. Yes, the answer for this is quite literally, it's super simple. You need to understand why onions make you cry. And it's because you're crushing the cells and it's releasing the compound when you crush the cells and you mix them together as a defense mechanism. It's releasing the compound that makes you cry. If you're crying, two things are happening. One, you're probably chopping and not slicing, and two, your knife is dull. Most importantly, you need a sharp knife. If you don't have a sharp knife, you're gonna end up crushing a lot more cells in the process instead of cleanly cutting them through. Think about it like a tattoo. Do you want a tattoo with a dull needle? It's gonna hurt a lot more. Or do you want a tattoo with a nice sharp needle, nice sharp incision all the way through? Okay? So, same exact idea as the onion. We're giving it a tattoo. We want a sharp knife, and we don't want to cleave it like an axe. That's all you gotta do. Nice sharp knife and you'll never cry again. So, we're cutting off some of the root, but we're keeping it intact so it holds all the layers together. We're going to make a bunch of incisions. We're not cutting all the way through to the root end. We're just making incisions so that we can fan out the onion. Okay? Making incisions, and now, my friends, take a look. We have a nicely fanned out onion, but it's staying together by the root. And now all you need to do, stance up, give yourself some space on your cutting board, slice, slice. Don't use a lot of vertical pressure. You're gonna be cleaving it like an axe. You're not gonna be using the full length of your knife. Okay? And I kind of want some smaller, thinner pieces. These pieces might be a little too aggressive for the salad. I'm happy to answer any questions. If anybody has any questions about anything, even if you consider them little newbie questions, there is no shame in it. I am here to help all of you. Okay? And then, my friends, when your cutting board gets a little bit too crowded, don't fight against it. Don't fight against it. Just take it, pick it all up, pick it up, and dump it in the bowl. Hey, Scribbler, welcome on in. You want to keep your station nice and clean and organized. So those pieces were a little too big. We're going to go a little finer. We're going to go a little thinner now, right? You see, I was a little too close to the edge of my cutting board, and then I got all of these onions now sort of spilling out, which was not ideal. You want to make sure that you have enough space on your work surface to understand where things tend to spill over. Ah! Okay, sweet. Let's get back to these onions. So just nice, big slices all the way through. Let's clean up our station once again because we've created a little bit of a mess here. Yeah, if I used that whole red onion, we would have had a problem. Okay. Now, we have to go ahead and still continue to babysit the corn because it is in the broiler, it is still charring actively. And take a look, the charring has now begun. A little bit, just a little bit. I want to push it. I really want to blacken the outside of that corn. I want to get it to be really nice and delicious, okay? I want to really roast that corn. So back in it goes, same side. We're not really rotating it. Just keep it all together. So I'm also asked, is it worth getting an air fryer? And my answer to you is, it depends. If you have a kitchen with little space, don't get an air fryer. Buy like a Breville or Cuisinart convection oven, like the toaster sized ones. If you also have the money for it, they are a bit of a money investment. I don't love air fryers. I don't love them because they're kind of ugly hunks of plastic, visually and aesthetically. And they don't have the functionality and the shape functionality that a regular toaster oven would have. So I really much prefer the toaster oven sized convection ovens. So if you can, I would save up the money for that. But if that's not an option for you, then, you know, do what you gotta do. Okay. Red onions have now all officially been sliced up. Okay, just getting it all off the cutting board, getting it all off of the knife. But yes, I don't love them. I don't love how much space they take up. I don't love how inefficient they are with their space. I don't love how difficult they are to clean. I don't like them for a lot of reasons. But the cheap ones are cheap. I would just get a Breville, if it is feasible at all, I'd get a Breville convection oven. Okay, onions chopped up. Now, we need some lime juice in there. And the reason we need to add lime juice now is because I want it to take away some of the pungency and some of the bite of the onion. The longer the salad is going to sit in the fridge, the more, you know, the less potent your onions are going to be. But at this stage, adding some acidity to it is going to really, really help kill some of that onion heat, right? And it's very, very nice to have some gloves while you do this. I really need to get a citrus juicer. Okay, but yes, my friends, red onions, we did them separately. Also, hello, Duolingo. Welcome on in. Red onions, we did these separately so that we can pour the lime juice over it now. Okay? It's going to really, really help to take the bite out of the onion so we get like nice, delicious, sweet red onions. Red onions, they tend to be some of the more pungent ones. Also, we should go ahead and check on the corn in a second after I'm done squeezing this lime. Okay, sweet. Let's go ahead and take a look at the corn. Guess what? Ooh, that is a nicely charred piece of corn, my friends. Look at that. Beautiful. The one in the middle is actually surprisingly not charring the best, but that's what I'm talking about. You see that? Nice, perfect. Just like a grill, except we're doing it at home with a broiler. Okay, just give it a little rotation. We're gonna try our best to get that other side now charred, okay? We wanna get that smokiness, we wanna get that grilled flavor out of it. Ah, lovely. And you just gotta keep it rotating as much as it needs. But yeah, we're gonna get some really, really delicious salad this way. A lot better than just plain boiled corn, I think. Even if it doesn't do anything taste-wise, it's gonna roast the corn a little bit, it's gonna cook it, it's going to make it a little sweeter, it's gonna char it a little bit, like give you like some of that grilled flavor. But ultimately, you still could just boil it. It's not like that big of a deal, it's just, I like to give my ingredients a lot of love, right? So this is what we're doing. We're throwing the acid, the lime juice, into the onions now, so we get to take away some of the pungency. We're charring the corn, we're giving all of our ingredients, all of our components, a lot of love, a lot of care, a lot of affection here. So that the salad just really, really stands out. So it's really, really special. Okay, let's take a look. We're just tossing them in all the lime juice. We'll probably do 1 more half lime's worth of lime juice for the salad. We don't want it overpoweringly acidic or anything, right? Come on, get in there, poke those holes. Beautiful. Juicing up that lime. Okay. That, my friends, should now be enough lime juice for today. For the salad, that is. And we're going to have some more over the tacos. No, this was a good lime, Dolingo. That was a good lime, I promise. We don't need a... Look, I really want a citrus juicy. I really should still get one. Okay. Ugh. Let's set that aside. And now I have to think about the other salad components. We're going to have some cilantro go inside. We can go ahead and work on that now. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the broiler once again. See how the corn is doing. Oh yeah, that is charring up really, really nicely. The ends of it are maybe getting too charred. And I'm actually going to rotate this whole thing on over. I'm going to rotate it because it's not evenly charring on all sides. Let's give it a little rotation as needed, just so that we can target all of it. Okay? It's a broiler. It's innately going to always be a little bit not perfect, but we're doing our best. Okay. Delicious. Okay, so into the salad. We got to think about the other components. We're gonna have some avocados. I'm gonna do these basically last. I'm gonna show you how I prep avocados. I'm gonna do these last just so that they don't like smush up too much, because we want to mix everything through. But we don't want to overly mix the avocados. But I'm gonna talk about ripeness. So there's a couple of things that you can do to check for ripeness. The worst thing that you can do is start squeezing it to all hell. Number one, you're looking for color. If it's a dark brown, it's typically a very overripe, very mushy, and kind of disgusting avocado. Number two, you want a dark green outside. If it's light green, if it's lime green, you can buy it. It just has to ripen for a few days longer. Nice dark green outside. You see how this is? Beautifully, consistently dark green. And then on the inside, it's not completely yellow, but it's neither brown. Right? Although this is not a very accurate measure, because if somebody took this top off, it'll ripen differently. So, nice dark green avocado. And then the smushing isn't actually very recommended, because you can bruise your avocado. But you want to have it to be nice and soft without a lot of pressure, but you don't want it to basically be collapsing in your hands. So these are actually the perfect avocados for salad. If you want to do guacamole, maybe you'd leave them for another day. Okay? But that's how I pick out my avocados. I'm looking at the outside color for it to be nice and dark green. Hello, two worlds. Welcome on in. Okay. The corn I can already smell. It's charring up pretty heavily again, my friends. Okay? And now that the broiler has properly heated up, look how quickly it's charring. Look how quickly it's coming together. You don't want to char this too much, right? You don't want to turn this into ashes. Perfect. Something like that. Something like that. Excellent. Look at that corn. It's looking really, really delicious right now. Okay? That side's still a little bit naked. Pop that bad boy back on in. Get the job done, my friends. And then we'll be able to pull it off, and then we'll be able to cool it down for the salad. Okay. Cilantro time. It's cilantro time, baby. So, as always, I keep my cilantro washed and prepped over here. A nice little container with a little bit of paper towel. You can tell why I go through so many paper towels. We're gonna keep the rest of those for garnish. These are all gonna go into the salad. And again, by the way, when the broiler does get that hot, this is the stage where you should be kind of babysitting it. Opening it up very often. You don't really care about the air temperature, so it's not like a traditional oven. Okay, I'm getting rid of some of the big stems. You don't have to go too crazy with this process. You just want to get rid of the big old stems. I just don't like the texture of them. And again, I'm not going in like leaf by leaf. I'm not doing anything crazy here. I'm just getting rid of the big stems. The little stems are more than okay to eat in something like this. Okay? That's it. There's no method to this. Just like that. Perfect. No big stems left. And once again, I think now is going to be the final time that we needed to even think about that corn. Yeah, that's a nicely charred piece of corn. That side's a little bit naked still, but that's okay. I don't want to push this anymore. It's fully charred, and now we just have to let it cool down, my friends. It's going to be really, really nice. This nice blackened corn. Although blackening usually like refers to a like Cajun cooking style. Right? That's what I'm looking for the salad. Is it on fire? Who said it was on fire? It's not on fire. It's just charred. We're looking for a nice like charred, really, really grilled piece of corn. Don't scare me like that. Scare the shit out of me. Okay. I don't think it was on fire. Okay, we're letting it cool down now. We want it to be cool enough that we can handle it with some gloves, my friends. Okay? So we can slice it up. Corn is a pompelli. Let me see. Okay. So let's get to the cilantro. That's already here. That's already ready to go for us. Just gonna glove up now, make our lives a little bit easier. The duck actually only has 11 minutes left on it, which is really exciting. So, my friends, gather up the cilantro, bundle up in your hands. Watch this. We're not crushing it. I'm holding this like I would a baby bird. Firmly so it doesn't fall out of my hand, but I'm not trying to squish its brains out. Grab a little knife, because it's going to be a lot easier to work with. So just grab it, bundle up in your hands. Sorry for the grotesque analogy. And now, we don't want to chop these. We want to slice these. We want to use the full length of a knife. We want to actually slice and cut. If we chop and cleave it like an axe, we're going to crush and ruin all of the cilantro. Okay? Slice, slice, be gentle, be delicate. It's beautiful stuff. It's a soft herb. It doesn't stand up to abuse. So gently and thinly slice this. And think about whatever size pieces you want for the salad. There is no right or wrong way to do this. Some people, they do whole leaves. I think that's a little aggressive for my taste. I like to go through this a few times, and you can go through this as many times as I'm doing right now if you're just gently slicing it. We're not crushing this, my friends. We're not crushing it. Slice it. Slice it, slice it, slice it, slice it, slice it, slice it, slice it. That's it. Perfect. Dump that into the bowl. That's all we gotta do, my friends. Cilantro, onions, lime juice. And now, what else do we want on the salad? We want to do the corn. We can't do the corn yet because that is still really, really hot. Right? We're not gonna be able to handle that and slice it up or anything at the moment. I wanted some, we're gonna do some of the seasonings now. I want a nice big old glug of olive oil. I want black pepper, and a lot of it too. And the olive oil is also going to really help make sure that the avocado doesn't oxidize. A lot of black pepper, plenty. What kind of olive oil do I use? That is now, that's depending on your preference and on your taste. It is extra virgin olive oil is like a basic classification. But as for like where it comes from, what region it's from, that's entirely up to you. Because olive oil, I mean, like the tastes and the origin of it, they really do vary quite a lot. My lights are flickering at home. Okay, just mixing this all together. And once again, especially with the salt, especially with the lime juice, we're losing a lot of the harshness of the onion. Right, so if I take a bite of this now, I'm not getting any of that like unpleasant, you know, raw garlic taste out of it. Right? Really tasty. Or raw onion taste. So Duolingo, it's more so for the taste. It's to make sure we get rid of the pungency of the onion. Because acidity will do that. And the longer that it sits in the fridge, the more that's going to get lost as well. Okay, we'll do the avocado now. It'll be okay. I'm going to show you how we do the avocado. We're going to need a butter knife, and we're also going to need a spoon. And I'm going to show you why, my friends. So first step. You've all seen this. You have all probably seen how to do this. We're going to find the avocado. We're going to make an incision with a knife. And all we're going to do is we're going to rotate the avocado as cleanly as we can. We're not going to move the knife. We're just rotating the avocado. And then you can just pop it open. Look at this avocado. Perfect on the inside. Yeah, perfect for the salad. Then you're going to hit it like this, and you can twist it just to pop out the pit of the avocado. Now, getting it off of this is a little tricky. You don't want to really take your hand and pull it off because it's really, really slippery. You can use a different tool to dislodge it, right? That would be fine. It's not a bad avocado at all. It's a lovely avocado. Okay? But you really don't want to get in there and grab it. That would be dangerous, and I will not advise you to do that. I will not. Okay, next one. Nice and easy. Guess what? We make an incision, and then rotate the avocado. Rotate the avocado. Rotate the avocado. All the way around, pops open, beautiful. Take this, gently tap it in, and it pops out. And then this, I can just use my thumb. Excellent. And now, my friends, we have 2 beautifully peeled avocados. So, for this stage of the process, let me show you what I do. I'm going to take a glove because it gets a little messy here. We're going to use a butter knife to slice it. Now, you don't have to. You can use a petty knife. You can use whatever teeny tiny petty knife. You can do whatever you want. I like to use a butter knife here. I'm going to show you why. Wasn't able to get this off. So, first of all, the avocado flesh is really, really soft. So it's going to be easy for us to cut through this even like with something like a spoon. Now, I'm going to cut this with the skin still here. If I took a sharp knife, it's so easy for this to poke through. You can really, really easily poke through. I want to get all the way to the bottom. In order to do that, I like to use a butter knife because it allows me to scrape against. I'm able to go all the way in with a butter knife. Like this. All the way in. All the way in. And really, really scrape against the side without worrying about it poking through and getting my hands. You see? It poked through. Guess what? It poked through. I put too much pressure. If that was a regular knife, I would have stabbed myself just now. So, it's been cubed up all in my hand. And now we take a nice big spoon and we just go around the avocado and look at that. All the little cubes pop out. You don't want these to be too small because if they're going to basically turn into mush by the time that you mix it, if you make these too small. But look at that, nice and easy, perfectly cooked, perfectly peeled rather. So once again, I'm only using a butter knife for this. Also, thank you, Desolate. I do use idiots though. Thank you. Okay. My friends, get in there. I just poked through it again accidentally, but that's okay because we're using a butter knife. I don't trust myself in my ability to gauge the amount of force that I'm outputting. Right? Beautiful. Go back into the bowl. Take a nice big spoon. Scrape up all of the flesh. Get it all out, my friends. And that way, perfectly diced avocado. And because it's so soft and so supple, you really don't want to do this on a cutting board, you know? You do this on a cutting board, it's going to make a huge mess, especially if it's like a really properly ripe avocado. I love doing this all in my hand. This one's a little bit more firm, but that's okay. It's still a really good avocado. And again, you want the cubes to be a little bit bigger than you actually need them, because in the process of mixing up the salad, the cubes are going to lose a very tiny bit of the surface because it's so soft. Okay, I actually think that's enough avocado. I don't want to do that other avocado half. We're just going to wrap that up in plastic. But now, my friends, guess what? Just break up the avocado and mix it through. I don't want that other avocado half. It's going to not properly balance the whole thing. And in the process of mixing it, my friends, look what happens, look what happens. The avocados are slowly getting broken down. That's why we need to overcompensate with the texture. We need to overcompensate with the size. Okay? And then you'll get the pieces of avocado that you want in there. Oh, Audio Murphy, it already has lime juice, I promise you that. This already has plenty of lime juice. It has some lime juice, some olive oil, the cilantro, the onions. And guess what? The duck is almost done. We're about to make the tortillas. My friends, everything is coming together now. Everything is coming together. And as soon as the salad is done, all we have to do is really just throw it into the fridge. Okay. This avocado, I'm going to wrap it up in plastic. You want to make sure that it's covered with something tight, just to make sure it doesn't oxidize in the fridge. You should eat that pretty soon. I could have gotten away with only using one avocado, I think, but I like avocado. And they look pretty nice at the store. Take it, wrap it up. Look, tight, 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 tight. You leave any air exposed, it's going to oxidize. It's going to become brown and not so delicious. It's going to taste a little off. Okay. Yes, they oxidize and go together, they turn brown. Yes. Okay, my friends, guess what? Little recap. Let's have a little recap. Guess what? We have worked on the duck quite a bit. The duck is almost done in the pressure cooker. Has about a minute left on it. We're going to release the pressure. We made the dough for the homemade tortillas. The next step after we're done with the salad is we're going to make all the tortillas. We're going to make all of them. We're going to let them steam. We have to sear the tortillas and then we have to let it steam. We've made the base of the avocado corn salad. Right? So avocado, corn, cilantro, lime. And then also currently on the stove, I have cooling down, which we'll be able to handle now, all of this lovely corn for the salad, which we charred it, we blackened it, we grilled it intentionally. We wanted to get some smokiness. We wanted to get like that sort of like grilled corn flavor. Okay? And I'm also going to be taking a second just to clean up my station, get rid of things I don't need. And look, with the way that we cut this avocado, we don't have a mess on a cutting board. How many times have you tried to slice an avocado and then it's all squishy and it's a fucking mess, man. It's a mess. Okay, I'm gonna get some water. The pressure cooker is done. I'm gonna release the pressure now. Ooh, scared me. Okay. So, the pressure is releasing. Let's talk about the corn. Still a little too hot to handle, but we do have to kind of keep things moving, so I don't have the luxury of not burning my fingertips right now. That is a luxury, okay? Here's what we do. We're gonna take a thing of corn. It's hot, it's still a little hot. Not fully charred, but that's okay because we have plenty of charred sides. We're gonna take it, we're gonna stand it up. You can do this over a bowl if you want. And we're just gonna gently slice it all the way down, my friends. Let's get a little taste. Lovely. A little too much of the cob though. Get all that corn shaven off. Yeah, I think I'm getting too much of the cob. It's fine. We'll do a little better on the next side. There you go. Nice and easy. Let it all pop out. Scrape it off. Excellent. And that, my friends, is a beautifully charred piece of corn that has now been cleaned up. Okay? Let's get a little taste. Delicious. Sweet, a little bit smoky, a little bit charred. Nice and warm. We're gonna take all of this and we're gonna scoop it into the salad. Scoop it in the salad. Get it all in there now. And then I'm gonna show you, once we're done with this, I'm gonna show you what the duck looks like. And we'll make the tortillas. Everybody, are we excited? I wanna hear a resounding yes, chef, if you're excited for today's food. Are we excited today? Okay, look at this bad boy, huh? Charred. Beautiful. Okay, and look, you see what I mean about the charred fibers? Look how easy it is to pick off now. They really, really just sort of stick out. Once they get a little burnt, they fall off a lot easier. Okay. And the kitchen, my friends, even without opening the lid of the pressure cooker, the smell of the duck and all the spices that we did has infiltrated the whole kitchen. It smells amazing. Beautiful. These pieces were a little too charred over there on the bottom, but this is excellent. Let's get a little taste. Ah! Delicious. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Just a little bit of like that charred flavor to be able to contrast the sweetness of the corn, the creaminess of the avocado. This is gonna be a very, very balanced salad in a lot of ways. So, let's do this side now. Any questions, anybody? Anything that you want to say to me? Just getting through all of this corn. Perfect. And now guess what? We did it. We've officially shucked, cleaned up, charred 3 things of corn. We're just gonna go ahead and grab all of it. We're gonna mix it through. We're gonna taste the salad for seasoning and set it aside. Can I mail you a plate? Yeah, absolutely. That'd be a very funny giveaway that I would do. I'm gonna mail you a plate of my food frozen. Okay. So my friends, take a look at the salad. Take a look. Look at this. Corn, onions, avocado, cilantro, lime juice, olive oil, salt, and pepper. If you want, you can do some jalapenos in here. But this is the kind of salad I was really, really thinking about for a dish like this. And the more you mix the avocado, the thicker the whole thing is going to become. Am I going to open a restaurant? I have some big plans for that in the future. You know what? Can I rant? Guys, can I go on a little rant for a second about my future plans of a restaurant and why I hate the world of restaurants as they currently are? So good. You know what? I want to break up the avocado a little bit. Those are some pretty huge pieces. You guys want to hear me go on that? Let me know. Lovely. Really, really delicious. It's got cilantro. It's got everything it needs. Also, thank you so much for the... Whoa, hello. Wow. Thank you for the 1,000 bits. Okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to yell. So, let's take a second to do this. I have a problem with restaurants. You know what my problem is? Lack of function, lack of accessibility, and lack of quality. Allow me to explain. The restaurant model, in many ways, is incredibly inefficient, at least the American restaurant model. We have so many restaurants. This idea of going somewhere to go sit down, you wait, you have somebody that goes and has an entire dedicated job of bringing you the food. It's bizarre. You have staff that are underpaid, you have ingredients that are shit, and to get anything that is decent, it is inaccessible to get things that are like ethically sourced, to get a kitchen staff that's properly paid. That shit is Michelin-star restaurants. That's why Michelin-star restaurants are so expensive, by the way. They're not just upselling you for the sake of it. They're paying more for good quality ingredients and they're paying their staff. But the issue with restaurants is that they're inaccessible. Good restaurants are inaccessible for the majority of society. they are not, for food to be cheap, it's either A, not good, B, not good quality ingredients, or C, not ethically sourced ingredients, and D, underpaid staff. And there is no really good solution. So here's what I want. I want a restaurant that is functional in the community that it serves. I want something that is essentially, in many ways, the best cafeteria that has ever existed. Something that is so affordable that people can go there, the average working class person can go there between work shifts, that they can go on their lunch break, that they can take with them to school, that they can go there every single day for dinner. And to be able to have ethically sourced ingredients that are good quality and to have exceptional quality food and well-paid staff. And you might be asking me, how the fuck do you fund that kind of a project? This restaurant is not going to operate on a profit means. It's not going to exist out of profit, right? And the idea is that I currently have at the moment is I want a sister restaurant. I want a sister fine dining restaurant, one that upcharges $500, $600 a tasting course for the best possible thing that you can get. And all the supplementary income goes towards essentially a form of wealth redistribution of funding the accessible restaurant. Because the whole point of why these kinds of restaurant models can't exist is because it's not innately profitable. So let's create something that's very, very profitable that exists to supplement this really, really functional, this really, really beautiful place to go eat. And that's what I want to do. That's what I want to do with restaurants. I refuse to be every other guy that opens a stupid fucking pop-up. You know what I hate? I hate New York City pop-ups. I'm going to tell you why. $22 for some sort of a representation of a dish, right? $22. Who's buying that besides tech bros that are making six-figure salaries? That is not a place for people to go eat. That's not a place for people to go eat. It's for them to try something new and then talk about it online. So I don't like pop-up restaurants for that reason. They're absolutely ridiculous to me. They don't serve a community. They serve the creative interests of whoever is running it. Right? They're a little creative project for them. But it doesn't feed people. I want to feed people, and I want to feed them well. Because guess what? Everybody deserves the right to have ethically sourced food that is cheap and accessible. Everybody deserves that. There should not be a world in this capitalist society where we have to make compromises, where it's like cheap food is either A, doesn't taste good, B, unpaid staff, and C, poorly sourced ingredients. That shouldn't exist. So we need a restaurant model that is a fine dining model that basically takes money away from the people that have too much of it and then supplements and funds this idea of the restaurant, the cafeteria that feeds a community. That's what I want above all else. I want something that people could theoretically go to every single day of the week and still afford it. That's what I want to see, right? And so restaurants are innately expensive. And what they should have always been was a special occasion thing. But they're in that like really weird middle ground of affordability. I want something local. And you know what I want? I want it to be essentially locked to the people that live in that neighborhood. I want it to be that you have to get like some sort of a membership for it so that people cannot just come out of town and try it just because they're looking for something exciting to eat. Just because they just want to see what's up. I want it to serve the function of a community to feed people. The function of food is to feed people. And then you can make it taste good after that. And then it will be to make to draw in customers. But it will not be a for-profit model. Will I call my restaurant Utopia? That would be a very pretentious name, audio. Anyhow, that's my rant. That's my restaurant rant. That's why, that's the only kind of restaurant I'm going to open. And I'm going to need a lot of help to make that happen. I'm going to need a lot of funding. Okay. My friends, the salad is delicious. The salad is so good. It's perfectly seasoned. It's got everything that it needs. It's got the lime juice, the avocados. I'm just going to wrap this up with some plastic wrap over it and throw it into the fridge so it cools down. But first, yummy. Okay. I'm going to take a second to wrap it up, and then we got to look at the duck, and we got to make the tortillas. We have a lot of work ahead of us. It's currently 1:43. Oh man, this is going to be a long stream today. Yikes. Have I overextended myself? Let's find out. Wrapping it up, throwing it in the fridge for now. And I'm just cleaning up my station, my friends. You're cooking at home, you have to clean as you go. Happy holidays to you as well, Candy Flips. I hope you're having a beautiful day today. Okay. Wrapped up, putting this in the fridge. Just letting it go now. Letting it chill out for when we want to eat it. Okay. And now what we need to do is we gotta go ahead and look and see how Mr. Duck is doing. Okay, I've already released the pressure in the pot. Okay, beautiful. Ah, it smells amazing. So my friends, take a look. This is the duck. It's all in the pot right now. Now, the duck currently has no color on it whatsoever. Because the goal is gonna be this. We're gonna throw this whole thing under the broiler. We're gonna get the duck skin really, really crispy. Okay? We wanna be able to get the duck skin really crispy after it's been braised. So what we wanna do is we wanna take our sheet tray again. We're gonna line it with foil. One more time. And we're gonna put the duck legs and the duck wings on it. Okay? And that's gonna go under the broiler once it's cooled down a little bit. And we're going to basically take some of this broth that we made. We're gonna blend it up with the chilies. It's gonna be really delicious. We're gonna basically create a duck bouillon. And I know it looks like boiled duck at the moment because it essentially is. That is basically just a boiled duck. But I promise you, it's going to shred up really nicely. So, I'm just fishing this out. I'm not trying to make it fall apart. I'm just getting rid of all the excess liquid. And that's why this tool right here, a spider, is really, really handy. Is that too much light? No, that's perfect. Okay. Yes, I would love to do something like that. I want it to be a training thing for cooks. I want to be able to train cooks and make them experts on the subject material. Okay, that's one. Let's get the next one out. And again, it's only cooked enough that it doesn't fall apart. Okay? We don't want this duck to fall apart completely. We want to shred it up after we char the skin. So that's two. Get all the excess liquid out. Throw it on. Let's get the wings now, my friend. Let's get the wings. Okay, that's the wing. Let's get the bay leaf off of it. We're gonna get it really nice and crispy, and then we're gonna take the meat off of it. It's all boiled meat for now, but trust me, you'll see. Okay, excellent. And this, my friends, is the rest of the cooking liquid. The spices, the chilies. We're gonna blend this down, and we're going to strain it all. Okay? Because I wanna get like this really, really delicious sauce for everything. We can use a stick blender for this, probably. Yeah, I can even probably do this right now in a stick blender, and then strain it out into like a vessel to hold it. That'd be perfect. And now we're just also steam drying. We're basically steam drying the legs and the wings. Okay, let's blend this up now. Bay leaves, spices and all. It's all going to strain, promise. Let's do this now so it can just be done and out of the way. This is gonna be the messiest. This is gonna be the most annoying part of today. Get an immersion blender. All right, we're just getting everything in there. That wasn't the camera, was it? No, I unplugged the toaster just to make space for this. And when it's hot, it is easier to blend. You can use like a regular blender that's closed. It's just you have to let it cool down if you do that. All of this stuff, all of the matter, it's all gonna get strained off, my friends. We're just trying to blend in the chilies. We're trying to blend in the bay leaves a little bit. It's going to get mixed into the meat once that's been shredded up. And we might also need to reduce it. We might need to boil it down. We'll see how it tastes. We're trying our best to get like the chilies in there. Listen, if we still get whole pieces of it, it's gonna be totally okay. A lot of the flavors are gonna come out into the rest of the liquid. Okay, it's looking pretty good. And now, let's take this off. Let's go ahead and strain this off. Take it off, strain it off. Let's set up the station for that. This we have no more use for. Let's get a pot ready. We're gonna put a strainer over it, my friends. You ready? Is everybody ready? I wanna hear yes, chef, please. And thank you. Yes, chef, perfect. There we go. Now people are listening to me. You guys gotta be quicker about it. You guys gotta be quicker with my instructions sometimes. Okay, setting up a nice metal strainer, just like this. And all we gotta do, my friends, is just pour all of this out. The strainer is gonna catch any of the solids. Excellent. And this, all of this right here, let's grab a little spoon and press everything out, is what we're going to essentially be dipping the shredded meat in. Okay, we didn't get to blend up all the chilies and stuff, but that's okay. Some of them did get blended in. Probably just a regular blender would have done a better job of that. And this also has all the duck fat. We want it to be really, really fatty, okay? Sweet. And that, my friends, is now a big vat of all that duck cooking liquid. We're gonna give it all a taste. We're just gonna mix it through, get rid of all those air bubbles. Ooh, that is good. My friends, that duck liquid is incredible. That duck stock that we've essentially made, that is so rich. You're really getting the sichuan peppercorns? That is beautiful. That is really, really good. Wow. It's got like that numbing effect to it. That is delicious. That is super, super meaty. Okay, and we're gonna reduce this now. We're gonna concentrate its flavors because there's a lot of excess liquid in there that we do not need. But look at this stuff. Excellent. We're just gonna have that reducing. We're just gonna have that going for a little bit until we're ready to use it. And then we're gonna salt it some more after. And the duck meat itself, we're going to char it up later on. We're gonna shred it up. It's gonna be good. And this is all my own dish. I've never pressure cooked the duck before and put it under the broiler. I'm just fairly confident it'll go well. Look at that, beautiful, that consomme that we've made. The sichuan peppercorns make it super, super unique. They give it that numbing effect, yeah? Very special. You don't typically get that with Mexican cooking. You don't have sichuan peppercorns in Mexican food. But to me, it felt like a very natural addition. And it smells excellent, it smells super, super aromatic. It's awesome. Okay, everybody following so far? I'm cleaning up my station right now. I'm just putting some things away, and we're gonna begin making the tortillas. Wiping off my surfaces. Putting this cutting board behind me. I don't think I'm gonna need my spider anymore for anything. Oh. Look at that beautiful consomme, huh? Amazing. Also, wait, did the camera flicker today? Excellent. Might have been too many Sichuan peppercorns, but it'll be okay. You can also even add like some tomato in there if you would like. I'm not going to, but you can. Okay, my friends, tortillas. Really simple. In fact, I'm gonna set that to the back burner. I'm gonna set that on over behind us because I'm gonna need that stove for the tortillas. Okay. The consomme is going. Excellent. I'm gonna get the pan over here, and that's gonna be for the tortillas. My friends, let's begin making the tortillas. Let's do a little recap. We made the salad with the corn, with the avocados, with the cilantro, with the red onions. We finished cooking the duck. The last step is gonna be us charring it under the broiler and getting it nice and crispy. And now we have to talk about the tortillas. So, let's begin. Over here, this is the dough that's now been fully rested. Let's go ahead and check on that hydration. The outside of it tends to sweat a little bit, so just mix it through one more time. And now if you pick it up and you take it and you flatten it on your hands, it comes off nice and clean. But look, the edges aren't cracking. The edges are really smooth. That tells us that we have a nicely hydrated tortilla dough. Okay? So here's what we do. This is what we do. Let's go ahead and wrap that up for a second. Let's go to the stove as well. We're going to set up this pan, which guess what? It's already going for us. Isn't that nice? Isn't that convenient? That already had the desire to be here? Okay. We're gonna heat this up nice and low and slow on a medium heat so that it gets a nice, even heating through it. We need to set up the station. First step is going to be the pressing. This is a tortilla press. This is a very shitty aluminum tortilla press I have. I want a nicer tortilla press. I might put it on my throne wish list. Please. Okay. Tortilla press. I'm just gonna wipe it off. Might have some dust on it. We're gonna need a plastic bag for it. We're gonna need a plastic bag. Because the whole point is this is supposed to flatten it and the plastic bag is going to stop it from sticking. So you can do this with any sort of softer plastic bag. Freezer bags, in my opinion, aren't ideal. I just don't have any like shitty like plastic shopping bags. Those are like the best ones to use for something like this. So with this, I'm gonna wash off my knife really quick. Oh, perfect. The consomme is going now. The pan is heating up. We don't want the carbon steel pan to be like too hot. It has to be nice and hot, and it's gonna be 45 seconds aside. Is the ratio or the timing that I've determined to be good. So, arts and crafts time. Here's what you're gonna do. We're gonna go in here, and we're going to essentially get this into one big plastic sheet. One evenly cut plastic sheet, my friends. Shit, I kind of messed up a little bit. You see that? That's gonna be a problem later on. I got a little bit too excited, a little too aggressive with this. We need a nice even plastic sheet. An even plastic sheet is gonna mean that we don't have any of the dough leaking out. If the dough leaks out, it's gonna stick. You wanna get it nice and tight here, basically. What's the best way to do this? This actually kind of sucks. Maybe I'll get some scissors. Yeah, I have some kitchen scissors. I think that would just be a better bet here. Some kitchen scissors. Okay. Let's do this instead. All the way to the end. Okay? And we're gonna get one big plastic sheet. And also you might want to trim off the blue plastic top. You can use, the best thing to do for this would be like a plastic shopping bag. Or like a takeout bag. That is like the ideal like soft plastic to use here. Okay, trim it up. Get a nice flat sheet. Ooh, there you go. Take a look. Almost flat. Good enough. Plastic sheet. That is gonna go into the tortilla press, just like so. Okay, and the next step that we need to set up a scale, because I like measuring out the exact weight and the grammage of my tortillas. This isn't necessary, but this is how I get it consistent. Okay? So, look at the station. Tortilla dough, flattening, weight. Let's do the scale over here. Let's do the flattening over here. And then we need to also set a timer for 45 seconds. That's how long approximately it's going to take per side. Okay, 45 seconds. I'm just going to have it ready to go whenever I need it. Last step, we need a bowl in which we'll steam the tortillas in. One huge mistake that people make is they think once they're done cooking the tortillas, they think they're just done. It has to steam after it cooks. So we need a bowl, and we're going to line it with a kitchen towel. We're going to line it with a nice little kitchen towel. Nice and easy. Or a plate, it doesn't really matter. I think this bowl is actually too, it's not wide enough. This is going to be my tortilla bowl. This bad boy right here. Right, so what we do is we just take this, we're going to line this up with a towel. And whenever the tortilla is done, we just cover it up with the towel. Okay? I'm going to set that behind me. So, I know, pretty elaborate, but it's going to be great. This is going to go behind me. I'm just making sure that I have a nice clean station to go ahead and do all of this stuff on. Let's put my knife away. Is everybody following? Is there anybody who is confused about anything? Again, doing tortillas at home is easy. You just have to do a little bit of setup for it. Anybody confused? And guess what? That pan is already nice and hot. So, my friends, let's begin the process. And remember, keep the dough wrapped up. Keep it wrapped up. If you don't keep it wrapped up, it'll dry out. It'll mess up your moisture. Okay? You're going to get dry tortillas. Nobody wants a dry tortilla. So my friends, I am looking for around 27 grams per tortilla to start with. And then we'll adjust and decide the thickness. I want a really heavy cast iron tortilla press at some point. It will allow me to do bigger ones. That would be really good for me. Okay, 27 grams. And we're keeping the dough wrapped in plastic. Okay, thank you for stopping by, my tongue. Lovely to have you. Roll it up, nice smooth ball. Set it down right in the center. Press it down slightly. Cover it with the plastic. Make sure it doesn't slide. Make sure it's directly in the center and slowly press. Don't go too fast. Nice and thin. Okay, the issue is I didn't have this perfectly centered, so it ended up slipping a little bit. And the beauty of this is if you mess one of these up, you can just go back in and try it again. Mine ended up sliding around inside, hence the really thin edge. And I think I still went too fast. So let's try this one more time. Dough, right in the center, plastic over it, stop it from sticking, get it in there, wedge it down, perfect. Look at that tortilla now. Look at that tortilla. Look at that tortilla. And then, think about the force of this. We have to do this again on the other side, just to slightly even it out. Look at this tortilla. Perfect. Nice and thin. It's one of my best ones. Good. Wow, nice job. Okay, peel it off the plastic. Just like so. Hold it in your hand, and then we're gonna lay this out on my hot pan here. Okay, really, really hot pan. 45-second timer starts now. 45 seconds goes by faster than you think. Okay? Gonna weigh out another 27-gram ball of dough. But my friends, this is the tortilla process. This is what it's like. Everybody understand? Only 45 seconds per side. We're gonna get it, hopefully, to nicely puff up. Okay. And now, let's take it, Let's flip it. Oh no, I messed up on my flip. Perfect. Look at that tortilla. Look at that tortilla. 45 seconds. It is really, really easy. And then if you did it correctly, by the time that you flip it over again, it's just gonna puff up. So the first one, we're not going to do this crazy process with, we're just waiting. We're waiting. Seeing how it goes. It's slowly beginning to puff up, perfect. I think we got a really good thickness on it. It doesn't stick, it's a very simple dough. Anybody can do this, my friends, anybody can do this. That is a really, really good tortilla. It is, yes, and we're still gonna char it. We still haven't gotten the duck crispy or anything. Guess what, timer is done. Now watch this, we flip it over. It's gonna puff, hopefully. Puff for me. Please puff. Is it not gonna puff? It might not puff. Ah. It's going, look at it go. Everybody look at it go. It's going. We did it. Chat, we did it. We're gonna flip it over to this side one more time. That is a nicely puffed tortilla. For my first one to look that good, oof, I've gotten good at this shit. I've gotten good at this. Very little tortillas, but very delicious. Oh, my friends, look at the tortilla. Look at the tortilla. I wanna show you the tortilla right now. Look at this thing. Look at this. Look at this. Huh? Homemade. So much better than any shitty store-bought tortilla. Perfectly cooked. Now steam it. Into the basket it goes immediately with a towel. Immediately. You don't want it to cool off. You need to steam it to fully cook it through. Okay, my friends, let's begin the tortilla operation. Have I ever made duck confit? I sure have, wifey. A lot younger though. I haven't made confit since I was like 16. Which was 5 years ago now. I am 21. Ugh, I'm old. Sorry, I'm not old. My friends, press it nice and slow. Okay, let's take a look. Oh, look at the press on this tortilla. Look at it. My friends, my dough humidity was perfect this time. Use more water than you think you need. I promise you, you'll get the best tortilla that way. And press it over on the side one more time. Ah, look at this tortilla. Excellent. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Okay, peel it off. We're gonna go ahead and throw this on over to the pan. Nice medium-high heat, not scorching hot. You don't want it to immediately sear on the bottom. Okay. Nice medium-high always with this sort of thing. We're letting the tortilla go, we're letting it do its thing. Today's tortilla came out very nice. I'm very happy about this. And I'm just going ahead and I'm getting it ready for the next pressing session. Oh honey, it's time for your tortilla flattening. Sorry. Ugh. I apologize. Okay, that side, a little bit drier, a little bit more cooked that time. We can turn down the heat slightly. 45 seconds. What's the diameter of a tortilla? That's a good question. It depends on what tortilla you're making. This one is only capable of doing very, very small ones, like street taco style ones. Right, the ones that you can eat like 3 or 4 of. It's really up to you, but it's kind of also dependent on the press that you have. Okay, excellent. And now we're just evening it up a little bit. Perfect. Another tortilla is going to be ready to go. Ooh, that one's puffing up around the sides nicely. Looking good. Okay. It's now ready for another flipping session. A little too charred, I think, this time around. Hopefully it puffs up here. If it doesn't, it doesn't. My first one came out great, though. Is it gonna puff? I don't think this one's gonna puff. I think I made this one too thick. This one might have been a little bit too thick. Yeah, this one's a little too thick. It's okay if it doesn't puff, my friends. It's not the end of the world. Such is life sometimes. That one I did not press down enough. And I think my heat was too high and I dried it out too much. And thus, it didn't do what we all wanted it to do. Okay, we're slightly lowering the heat now. Guys, tortillas are a constant game of balance. Okay, it's gonna be a constant balancing act. So let's do this next one. Let's see how this one goes. Peel it off. Get it into the palm of our hands. Into a paw. Sweet. And let's lay it down. Nice and easy. Nice medium heat, my friends. Okay? Sweet. We're letting it go. We're letting it do its thing. We're not making a ridiculous amount of tortillas today. I'm only just making enough for myself, really. Normally I do some bigger batches, but not today. So look, press this down. Oh no, I didn't set the timer. I'm gonna say 20 seconds left on it. And I got distracted doing my flattening, doing my pressing. Excellent. And now we're just gonna touch, just give the side a little kiss. Okay. Let's see how it's doing. There we go. 45 seconds. Everybody, have a timer with you when you're doing this. It's gonna change your life, I promise. Look at it puff already on the edges. Nice. Once we flip it over, it's gonna be great. Have a timer. I'm not joking around. I'm not messing around. Have a timer for this. Okay. Small batch of tortillas today. Small batch. Unevenly puffing. That's telling me I'm probably putting too much pressure on one side. That's right. Everything I do here is homemade. Okay. Sweet. And now let's go ahead and take a look at this side. Lovely. Puff up for me. Do it. You won't. Is it gonna do it? What's going on? What's the big idea? That first one was good. Am I not being patient enough once I flip it over? That first one was the best one. It's so good. It's so pliable. Why are the others not more like him? Why aren't you more like your brother? Sorry, that wasn't for chat. That was for my tortillas here. I have a feeling I'm just drying it out on that first side. I have a feeling that is what's happening here. That first side might be going on for a little too long at this heat. Okay, so let's experiment, my friends. Let's do 40 seconds. We're gonna do the next one at 40 seconds. So, I'm getting my next tortilla ready. Nicely, thinly, evenly pressed. Perfect. 40 seconds. Keeping it shorter this time. Okay? I have a feeling my heat was too high. Some shit happened. I don't know. Let's press this guy out. Roll it up into a ball. Throw it down here. Guys, tortillas are going to be a game of constant balance. It's a constant balancing act. This one slid on over to the edge. We're gonna have to redo this one. This one we can't do like that. It slid over to the edge and it got too thin. You can always reshape these. Okay. Let's flip it over. I have a feeling that it just needed less cooking time on that first side. That's my bet. That's what my inclination is right now. We're not looking, now the contact browning that I got is great. We don't want like any like real serious like blackening or charring to happen on the tortillas at this stage. We want them to stay fairly, fairly like pale, beige, that kind of deal. With a couple of slightly brown spots. Okay, I'm setting up my next one. Making sure it didn't slide this time. Perfect. That's what I'm talking about. Flip it over. Okay. And now I bet this one's gonna puff up. I bet this one's gonna do it. Yeah, it's puffing. That one is puffing in the center. Okay, I think I've confirmed my suspicions. I think I understand. I think I've been cooking it too hot and too long on that first side. Look at that puff. Look at that puff. Oh, you know what we call that? That's Puff Daddy. Sorry. It's just puffing. I say that whenever I commentate a Jigglypuff player, and don't worry about it, man. It's just, it's puffing. No, those little burn blisters are okay. These are fine. Promise. That's perfect. Now that's a nicely puffed tortilla. When it's nicely puffed, the inside is going to be very nice and tender. Perfect. That's what I'm talking about, baby. All right, next one. Let's activate tortilla number, whatever it is. Activate. A little too hot, I think. 40 seconds. 40 seconds. We're not doing 45 anymore. 40 seconds at this heat. I think I figured it out. Hello, Mr. Mojo Rising. Go duck yourself. Are you serious? How could you say that to me? Okay. $27 grams, this one. Perfect. 5 more seconds on this first side, and then we'll flip it over. This has been, I think, the best homemade tortilla attempt I've gotten so far. Excellent. Good stuff. Start. Well, look at that. It's the holidays, Mojo. You gotta have duck on the holidays. Okay. We got to make sure it's nicely centered. Okay, there we go. Nice and gentle, nice and slow. Perfect. Let's do this side now. And guess what? That's done. And now I bet if we flip it over here, is it gonna puff? Let's find out. Are you gonna puff? Oh, is this one gonna puff for me? I think so. Oh, everybody, guess what? I think I nailed it. I think I finally nailed my timings on each side. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Awesome sauce. That's good stuff. Really, really good. I'm very happy about this. And we want to make sure that we're steaming it after, right? We're putting it in a little basket with a towel. Oh, that is perfect. These are some perfect looking tortillas, my friends. Guys, I can't wait to show you the stack of tortillas once they're all done. These are the best ones that I've gotten thus far. I have a lot of tortilla making experience at this point. I've made them, this is maybe my 10th time already. Okay, next one going in now. Start the timer for 40 seconds, not 45, 40 seconds. And again, it's going to be variable depending on your heat, depending on the pan you're using, depending on everything. There's a million factors, there's a million things to consider. You're going to have to adjust and adapt depending on what you have. And for me, I figured out what works for me. I'm very happy about it. We got about 3 more tortillas I feel like that we could make. Rolling it up into a ball, setting it down. Oh, I really need to get a better press though. Okay. It also depends on your tortilla press. So there's a lot of factors to consider. Look at those things. Perfect, huh? You want to give the stock a little stir, the consomme? It doesn't really need to be stirred. It's fine. She's okay. Okay. Let's even up this plastic. Everybody following so far? How's everybody doing? I want to hear yes, chef, and for you to tell me about how you're doing. Oof. That one's a little bit uneven. It's a little misshapen. The end of it got a little too thin. Glad to be here. Happy to hear it. Okay. Let's get this one flipped on over to this side again. Let's watch it puff. I'm gonna need to reflatten this one. This one did not flatten correctly the first time around. Right? Because when you get like a very thin edge like that, that really thin edge is just gonna end up drying out. But, oh, look at that puff on this one. Look at that puff. Excellent. That's what I'm talking about. Look at the way that they inflate. That's exactly what we want, my friends. Okay, let's get it out. Let's get it out of here. We don't want it to dry out or anything. Oof, that's a good tortilla. That is an excellent tortilla. Steaming away in my little basket. Okay. Let's do this one really quick. Awesome. Let's get this on the stove. Too hot. That pan got way too hot. I heard that sizzle. I lowered the heat a little bit. Okay. 27.5. Okay. And now, throw that back into the plastic here. Okay. 3 more seconds. We gotta give it a flip. My friends, we just have 2 more tortillas to make. Where's my spatula? Excellent. And let it go. Oof. Guys, I think this has been my most successful thing of tortillas yet. These have been my best ones. I'm very proud of these. I've done so many tortillas and I've gone through so much trial and error. And I finally got in the method that just works the best for me. Okay. A few more seconds. Flip it over. Let it puff. Let it rise. I'm going to also taste the consommé, the broth that we're making, right? Out of the reduced duck juice. Oh no. Delicious. Really good. That duck broth is amazing. This one's not puffing as much. Did I not press this one out thin enough? That's my bet. I think I didn't do this one thin enough. And my heat was too high. I bet I didn't do it thin enough and my heat was too high. Because I heard that sizzle when it went down. So if you don't have a tortilla press, you can use like 2 sheet trays. So, and Duolingo, I know that they're a little small. I think I didn't press this one out enough. So this one is just like a little too thick. Yeah, it's a little too thick. That's okay. This one should be better. My pan is like way too hot. I'm sure of it. Okay, last one. But yeah, I can't actually make these tortillas a little bigger because this press is so small. You need like a pretty big cast iron press to get like decently sized ones. So I have to make mine very little. And no, Mojo, you can't do a rolling pin because you're not really rolling out the dough or stretching it. You just want to flatten it. Okay, last one, my friends. We did it. We've done. Just making sure to put my bowl away. Ugh. My timer went off. Really important. Let's flip it. Excellent. 40 more seconds. And we have 1 more tortilla to do after this, my friends. Yeah, so we just lowered the heat to a very, very low one on the carbon steel. Oh, my friends, these tortillas though, they look incredible. They actually look really lovely. They're perfect. for today's tacos. And that consomme that we made, also pretty incredible. Really tasty stuff. Okay? 3, 2, 1. Flip it over on this side. Is this one gonna puff? I think it's gonna puff. Let's just look at the stove. Is it puffing? It's puffing. Yeah, I see it puffing in the center. Excellent. That's what I wanted to see. Give it another second. It's gonna steam the inside. It's gonna make sure that the inside is fully cooked through. It's leavening the way that it needs to. Get it on that side a little bit longer. So whoever told me you need to have a super hot pan, I actually disagree with them. I don't think you need a searing hot pan to make tortillas. I'll fight against that. Moderate heat at 45 seconds has been ideal for me. Or 40 seconds, rather. Last one. Last one, my friends. And then that's no more tortillas left to make. Okay. Now I'm putting my stuff away. I'm putting my scale, my tortilla press away. Everybody, we've done so much. You know how much we've done? We made the salad. Oh shit, I didn't set the timer. Let's say 23 seconds left. Everybody, we made the salad. We're doing the tortillas. We braised and cooked the duck. We're reducing the duck liquid. And the last step is just gonna be charring everything together. So we get this really delicious, super, super crispy duck. We've done so much. This consomme is getting really delicious. It's getting super rich. Okay, 40 more seconds. Are you excited? Is everybody excited? I'm pretty excited for the tacos. And I'm gonna show you my lovely stack of tortillas after. What it all looks like together. Why is Duolingo has my family the only one saying yes, chef? Is nobody else excited? Does nobody else want to see this? Come on. Also, if anybody has any questions, now things are slowing down. We're getting to the end stages of it all. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, anything that you want to say to me at all, this is your time to do it. Okay. And now let's flip that over again. Puff. Hopefully. If this one doesn't puff, it's fine, because it's the last one. There's not much more to adjust. Oh no, it's going. It's doing exactly what it needs to do. That's what I thought. Well, yeah, it's doing good. Perfect. Look at that puff. What more could you ask for out of a little tortilla like this guy, huh? Not much. Not much. Doing this in a carbon steel, by the way, this has been my favorite tool for the job. Try doing this with another pan, not it. Okay, everybody, we have made a beautiful batch of tortillas. No mission tortillas today, not at all. Let's take a look. I'm gonna show you. Look at my tortillas, I want you to look at them. They're cooling down now, they're steaming away. Look at them. That's what a tortilla should look like. Pliable, look how flexible it is. Let me name one shitty store-bought tortilla, corn tortilla, that is this flexible. They can't be, because they're dry and they're filled with all kinds of nonsense. The ingredient list is ridiculous. This is two things: nixtamalized corn and water. And look at the tortillas that we get, my friends. Flexible. They smell like corn. That is what a proper tortilla should look like. Okay, let's leave it alone. It has to steam and stay warm in the tortilla basket until we're ready to do it. Everybody, we've gotten almost everything done. We did the salad, we did the tortillas, we braised the duck, and now it's time for us to shred and char the duck as well. So, let's think about that right now. Let's think about what we want to do with this. I'm going to go ahead and take all of this duck. So take a look at the duck. This is effectively just boiled duck. It's just braised. But this skin right here is asking to be crispy. Can you hear it? Can you listen to it? It wants to be crispy. And who am I to deny a duck of its right to have crispy skin? Who am I to do such a thing? Not me. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna preheat the broiler. The consomme is also going at the moment. Okay? The duck broth that we're essentially gonna dunk all the shredded meat into. I'm gonna show you what the duck broth looks like now. Now that it's reduced. Now that it's been slowly but surely cooking down. Everybody, I want you to look at my duck broth. I want you to look at my duck broth. Look at this thing. It's like ramen broth, basically, at this point. It looks so good. Just gonna move it aside. Okay, let's have a little taste again. Let's see where it's at. Do we need more salt? Do we want to cook it down anymore? What do we want out of this? My friends, that duck broth is so good. That is so good. It is meaty. Also, welcome on in, Hot Moose Boy. What a tag. Wow. That is really, really good. Also, hello, Jackie Peanuts. My friends, look at this duck broth. This is what all the meat is going to get dunked into. It is so meaty. It is so spicy. It's full of chilies. And soy sauce and full of flavor. Wow. We're going to do a little bit of salt. It's going to need some salt. And I don't think I want to cook it any longer. I love the concentration of the flavor now. I think it's exactly what it needs to be. Oh, we absolutely can dip a tortilla in and eat it as is. Okay. Hello, 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 rabbit. Hello, cow with a bat. Look at that stock. Look at that consomme. You know what? Fine. We're going to do it. We're going to take one of my tortillas. I'm going to take my first tortilla that I made. We're going to dip it in. I'm going to get a plate. Let's do it. Let's have a little taste test, huh? What do you guys think? It's going to be good? Oof. Dip it in. Soak it up. I didn't have any food today yet, so it'll be a nice little snack. Delicious. Delicious. Okay, everybody. The duck legs and the wings, we're gonna throw this under the broiler now, and we're gonna get it really nice and crispy. We're gonna char it, we're gonna seal it on the outside, and then we're gonna shred it up and we're gonna dunk some of it into the stock. Okay, it's gonna be really good. Let's get all that set up now. It's gonna take a second. We wanna get that skin a little bit crispy, we wanna get the meat a little bit more cooked. Get it to where it needs to be. Okay. We also have to think about the plating for all of this. I'm gonna want 3 tacos for myself. And the tortillas, they have steamed nicely. In fact, I might not even put them on my plate right now because then they'll cool down. But look at my beautiful tortillas. Homemade, corn tortillas. Look how flexible they are. Let's keep them steaming. Let's keep them in the basket so that they don't become cold. Okay, in this station though, in here, that's where the meat is actually gonna end up going. Okay, and we're gonna have gloves for this operation. So all we want to do is we want to take the meat off the bone. We're going to want to shred it up and we're going to want to mix it with some of the consomme. That's it. Nice and simple. Nothing too crazy. Let's go ahead and check on the meat in the broiler right now. We have so much consomme, so much more than I actually know what to do with. But that's okay. Okay, so the meat is starting to pick up a little bit of color. Starting to render out some more of the fat. But it's not where it needs to be yet. So just giving it a rotation and putting it back under the broiler. We're gonna get that skin crispy. We're basically, in a way, making carnitas. Almost, right? Not exactly, but almost. I'm gonna try that consomme again. My friends, that consomme is wonderful. Ooh, spicy. That's the only issue, it's a little spicy. Well, not an issue, it just got caught in my throat. It needs some more salt though. It's very fatty, it's very spicy. It needs the extra salt. To really season the duck through. The new cam is good, I'm glad you like it, Aleem. Everybody, are we ready for today? Are we ready for these fucking tacos? Because I am. I'm excited, I'm ready for it. I'm gonna continue to babysit the duck because I don't want it to burn on the outside, right? You can already see, look at the char that it's picking up. Right? It's getting nice and crispy on the top. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. Those duck legs are getting really delicious. And then we shred it up, we build the tacos, and we eat. That's all that there is to it. That's all there is. Only thing is I might actually just portion out the salad right now. We made the avocado, the charred corn salad. So I'm just gonna get that done, I guess, while we wait. And we're gonna head back to the broiler in just a moment. Again, we don't wanna squelch the duck. We don't wanna incinerate it or anything. Right, we just wanna get the skin of it a little bit crispy. A little bit. And we might even chop up some of the skin, we'll see. Okay. Let's go back inside. Let's take a look. Ooh, my friends, that smells like barbecued duck almost. That smells great. It's getting to where I want it to be. Nice and crispy on top. I'm just giving everything a little rotation. And we'll throw it back inside. Perfect. Few more minutes of just picking up a nice crust. I'm excited to eat. I'm also really hungry already. Salad's nice. Okay. Few more seconds. It's not going to take all that long. Promise. Anybody have any questions for me? Anybody have any concerns? We're going to be soon wrapping up the stream. We're going to build the tacos. We're going to assemble it. We're going to shred up the meat. We're going to taste it. And then we're going to wrap things up because I got shit to do today. So if you've got anything you want to say to me, now's a good time to do it. Okay. Duck is almost done. Almost there. Almost to where I want it to be. Let's take a look now. Ooh, perfect. That's what I'm talking about. That is so good. That is perfect. Everybody, look at this duck. What makes olive oil jump on a pan? When you add liquid to it. Also, any suggestions for making a duck into rotisserie tomorrow? You should salt it today. You should dry brine it. That's a very complicated question. If you were to do a Peking duck style, it'd take a while. My recommendation, get a probe thermometer, stick one probe into the breast, stick one into the thigh. And you want to do like a slow and low thing, kind of like 300 degrees. That's what I would do, 275, 300. Okay. And then you would finish it in a super hot oven. My friends, that's what I'm talking about. That's now a delicious, beautifully charred duck. Excellent. Nice and crispy skin. We're gonna go ahead and chop this up and get it ready to be consumed. Okay? Excellent. So, let's head back over here. I'm gonna actually probably do this on a cutting board. I'm gonna do this on a cutting board, not a plate, as I once thought. Let's see. So here's the thigh. Here's the leg all together. And because we cooked it all the way through, everything just easily now falls off the bone. But we didn't overcook it, so none of the meat fell away. Okay, Perfect. Look at this duck. Look at this duck. So creamy. Really, really delicious. Okay. And now what we're going to do is we're just going to peel away the skin. We're going to want some of the skins inside. We're going to want some of the skins chopped up. Okay. Oh. Guys, that duck is no joke. It just comes apart really, really easily. And now with the leg, you want to make sure that you're not getting any of these like super, super tough tendons. So we're just getting rid of all of the meat from the bone right now. And you see these bad boys? These guys right here? You really want to make sure none of that goes inside. That is going to be super unpleasant for us to eat if it goes inside. Those bones, those tendons, we want none of that. Okay. 40 minutes was actually the best possible time to pressure cook, I think. Because that was just enough for it to not completely fall apart in the cooking process. But it still got tender and everything exactly the way it needs to be. Awesome. Look at this duck. Oh, amazing. Let me try some of the skin. The skin is crispy. It's delicious. Everything is shredding apart. This really is like carnitas, my friends. This really is like carnitas. It's so special. This really tastes special. Feeling for bones, feeling for tendons. Get in there. Smush it up as much as it needs to be smushed. Tear it up into strands. Look at this. Look at this duck. Look at the amount of meat we got from one of these legs. Awesome. And we still haven't added any of that super flavorful cooking liquid to it, right? This is all just straight meat right now. Okay, let's grab it, throw it into the bowl. Let's do the next one. Next leg, coming out now. Okay, this skin here is a little too floppy, a little too boiled for me, so we're gonna get rid of it. We're gonna pop out the thigh bone. Off it goes. Take all the meat out. What kind of steak would be good for some kimchi stew for jjigae? You are going to want, really the reality is if you cut any meat thin enough, it's going to be tender. It depends on what texture of meat that you actually want. I'm also a little focused on this at the moment. Okay. So I guess the one thing we do need to look for in the thigh meat itself is going to be the joint where we'd pop the thigh bone out of. Right? Because all poultry will have that. Excellent, excellent. Just feeling it for any little bones. Duck is the best. It's one of my favorite meats. It's up there. Excellent. Look how tender this all is, huh? Look at it. It's the best. Let's taste some of the skin again. With some meat this time. Great. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. We're just getting into, what is that knuckle? Interesting. I might have lost it. Oh well. Just feeling this for anything hard, anything that you feel like should not be there. Okay. Tearing this meat up. Looking good. No visible things that we can't eat here. Let's go ahead and grab it. Put it into the bowl. And now let's do the wings. Let's see how the wings came out. The wings, look at that, easily slips on out. Let's look at this wing. Look at this wing. Also, Rabbit, thank you for the reminder to hydrate. This wing is also pretty gorgeous at the moment. Excellent. Pop the flat out, get the meat off the flat. I love duck wings. Okay. That's the meat from the wing. Once again, inspecting it. Okay, so this was a little bone fragment that we got from the wing. We don't want any of that. So we got rid of that. Being very careful this time. Excellent. Last wing, my friends. Last piece of meat. Pop out the drum. Nice and easy. Get some of the meat out of it. We don't really want the drum skin because it tends to be like very collagen-y. Yeah, bone fragments are not good eats. But the meat definitely is. Okay. Let's pop out the flat again. Get rid of the knuckle, the joint. Oh, this cutting blade, it's an Epicurean, so it's a composite wood. Very funny, Duolingo. Okay, everybody, we are done with the process. We're done. We did it. We have this beautiful bowl of duck meat from the 2 legs and the 2 wings. And now we're just going to mix it up. I'm going to go ahead and get this into a dishwasher. That's the beautiful duck meat. And now we're going to ladle in some of that sauce, right? Some of the consomme that we made. And it's gonna keep it nice and hot. It's gonna get it all really nice and juicy. And it's gonna get the salinity up. You ready? So, I'm gonna just pour in a ladleful, and it can take in quite a bit. And I wanna get the duck fat in there as well. Right, so I'm also taking this specifically from the top. I want to get the duck fat integrated. I want to get some of the consomme integrated. And we're going to get this really delicious, juicy, spicy duck meat. We poured some in. Let's take a glove now. And we're going to try our best to mix this in. And that, my friends, look at it. The texture of the shredded duck. It lends itself so well to being able to pick up the cooking liquid. Look at it, look how juicy it is. Look how moist that is now. That is a beautiful pulled pork. Oh my God. That is so good. This is literally like carnitas. In the best possible way, this is exactly like carnitas. It's that like fatty, delicious texture. Look at it. Beautiful. I have a feeling it can take a little bit more cooking liquid, but you know what? That's good. We'll do one more ladleful. It can really, really soak it up because it's shredded now, right? It can really soak things up. Look at it. Oh, all of that delicious broth, the chilies, the sichuan peppercorns. What time is it? It's almost 3. Holy shit. Okay. Oh, and I found one of the knuckles that I missed from the thigh. Got you good, buddy. Look at this. Amazing. Soaking up all that juice. Let's have one more taste. Ooh. And guess what? I just splashed it all over my kitchen. My friends, incredible. You can't beat it. Look at that. That's what I'm talking about. Look how juicy it is. Look how moist it is. Look how succulent. Right? Literally dripping all the consomme that we made for it. Okay, let's build. You ready? Everybody ready? It's time to enter the final stages. Really simple, nothing crazy. Plate. Look at the plate. Ready? Tortillas, we need 3 of them. 3 little baby tortillas. 1, 2, 3. Look at these, homemade. Look how flexible this is. A perfectly steamed tortilla. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. This is my avocado corn salad that I made. Avocado charred corn, we'll talk about in a second. Let's get some of the meat on now. Let's get some of the meat. Nice and juicy. Okay? Look at this. Beautiful. Beautiful. Really, really delicious. Just soaked up all that consomme. And then I realized, I've forgotten some cilantro and onions. We're gonna just tear up the cilantro. I have some scallions I was gonna do as well. Let's do some cilantro. I have some leaves right here. We're just gonna pick some off. Just rip it apart. Put it over the top. Let's do some more. It's not enough for me. Okay, excellent. Some of that. We also have left over a little bit of lime, which I'm just going to place over here. Some lovely little lime. And then we're going to do some of the scallion that I had left over. And in fact, we don't even need to really slice the scallion or anything. Oh yeah, the homemade tortillas are so much better. You have no idea. Okay. Scallion. Am I not going to be lazy and am I just going to slice it? I'm going to slice it. Let's slice it. I'm not going to be that lazy about this. I'm going to take our cutting board back that we had set aside before. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to slice up a little bit of scallion. Ooh. I'm getting a little messy. I'm starting to rush now, but that's okay. I just really want to eat. I'm really hungry. Really want like that nice crunchy raw alliuminous, right? Okay, scallions. 1, 2, and 3. Look at that. Excellent. Okay, my friends, guess what? We've done it. We've done it all. These are my beautiful tacos, and that's my beautiful salad. We've made everything here ourselves. We made the tortillas ourselves. A little bit of maseca and a little bit of water. We made the duck ourselves. The duck, we deboned it, we broke it down, we braised it with pasilla chilies, with ancho chilies, with bay leaves, with onions, with garlic, some sichuan peppercorns, a little drop of soy sauce. We charred it, we shredded it, and we mixed it with the consomme. And the salad, avocado, charred grilled corn, onions, lime juice, and cilantro. Refreshing and sweet and delicious. Then we're gonna take a little bit of lime. Take a little lime. You're gonna juice it over the top. Grab a little bit of the taco. Let's have a bite. Mm. 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 Mm-hmm. Mm. Mm. What can I say? Mm-hmm. That's good. Excellent. Mm. Juicy, fatty, delicious. Mm. Okay, everybody, I'm gonna be eating the rest of these off stream. We're gonna find somebody to raid. Hope you've all enjoyed the stream today so far. If you have any final questions, now is your time to lay it on me. Anything that you want to say to me, anything at all. Now is your one shot to do it. Also, if you want to give me something nice for the holidays, go to the throne page below, where you type !wishlist. Get me something nice that I can use for the kitchen, that I can use for the streams. You can also donate, Cash App, or do the Streamlab shit. I'd really, really appreciate it. I'm going to be gone for a few days. We have a new schedule coming in. Also, thank you, Pixel. I'm going to be gone for a few days. I'm going to be back on Friday, this Friday. So, if you want to look at the schedule, join my Discord, !Discord, go to my Twitter. The schedule's all there. Next one is going to be this Friday, and we're going to do Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I hope you all have a lovely holiday today. Hope you all have a beautiful day today. Also, Jake, you wrote wash list. Thank you all so much. I really appreciate every single one of you. And I hope you all have a lovely rest of your Christmas if you're celebrating. I hope you have an excellent holiday season. I hope things go okay for you. Thank you all for being here. This has been an incredible year. This isn't our last stream of the year by any means. We'll get to that. We'll do a stream on the 31st. I'm just happy that you're all here. Thank you. Let's see who is live. Who is currently live? Are there any food and drink streamers live? That's what I'm looking for. Who is live currently that is cooking for us right now? Skip gently. Let's go ahead and rate this guy. Skip gently. Okay. Everybody, thank you all for being here. Next stream is going to be this Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Thank you, thank you. Have a happy holiday. Have a lovely rest of your day. Have a lovely rest of your weekend. And I'll see you next time, this Friday.